Hello everybody and welcome to Teletext Sofa Club. The date is the 12th of May 2023 and we're finally back on the internet for you, the discerning teletexters of the world. Now joining me tonight will be my usual co-host Carlos Attrell. You've been waiting a long time for him to come back, haven't you? That's the whole reason you're here. But yes, he's back. And tonight we're going to be talking about Teletext Lore. Now there exist Netlore and Faxlore, and you can probably sort of guess at what they are. But tonight we're going to ask the question, what is Teletext Lore? And that's all one word, as in folklore. So Teletext Lore, it's a sort of folklore. And we shall be beginning at 7 p.m. UK time. That's approximately 25 minutes from now. But first, we're going to have a few clips, 10 minutes of clips. I'm going to come back and we're going to address the chat. Sound good? Right. Let's go with those clips.
Which one are you picking, gentlemen?
The T, if you please.
Right. What T is the system which broadcasts pages of information for... Yes, Shima?
Teletext.
That's it, Teletext it is, yes. And if you happen to have a television set which receives teletext, you'll know all too well what it is.
Once there was a man who asked questions on teletext. His name was Bambaboos. Learn when you got a question wrong. He said that you have been bamboozled. Cause the way to cheat, they'll press buttons really quickly. Once there was a worm who went on adventures with Glug. His name, it was Turner, and when Digitiser ended, we saw the real Turner, the one being sick. We know what it was, though, press reveal it, well, the ejaculating thingy. Here in my car, and I'm driving to work, but the radio's crap, so I listen to Teletext. It may be a Merc, but it's 15 years old. Their conditioning doesn't work, but at least I've got Dan and Carl.
And Rod is in Rayleigh. Rod, what have you misheard then? Oh no, hang on. Let's talk about your Ceefax holiday. Let's talk about your holiday, shall we?
Right. Yeah, years ago, out on Ceefax, I saw a holiday down in Cornwall at Newquay for a caravan. I was took my grandchildren and our family. Right. And I can always remember because it was a huge, great caravan. I think it's almost new actually, and it was advertised. I think it was 103 or 104 pounds for the week.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely superb. I couldn't believe it actually. You know, it's you pay 3 or 4 times that at that time. You know, and yeah, I just got onto it, sort of thing, and that was that.
So somebody has actually got a real good holiday deal from Ceefax, because you see, I always thought at the time that you eventually got what the number was and you phoned it up or whatever you had to do, and they were all gone, and it was just a sort of lost leader. But you actually got a decent holiday from that.
Yeah, I've got a terrific holiday. Yeah.
Brilliant, Rod. Thank you. You've restored my faith in human nature. Rod from Rayleigh. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're all going on a Ceefax holiday. No internet for a week or 2.
Pixel sunsets and blocky oceans. 3D print, there are subtitles too.
On page 302, we're going where the CRT shines bright. We're going where the cyan is blue.
We've seen the pixel palm trees,
So let's see if they're true. Everybody loves a Ceefax holiday. Bed and breakfast in Blackpool.
run down guest house in Army Stornoway in your garden for 522.
Or sunny Wagadoo. Pixel dreams come true. We're going where the CRT shines bright. We're going where the cyan is blue.
We've seen the pixel palm trees,
So let's see if they're true. Do you remember Ceefax holidays? Buying tickets at the crack of dawn.
endless coastals in outer Overton.
Glorious beaches of Avignon.
We're not having you one. We're not having you one.
Do you remember Ceefax holidays? Buying tickets at the crack of dawn. Endless coastals in outer Overton. Glorious beaches of Avignon. We're not having you one. That's good, isn't it?
Teletext Holiday Fax. Get the latest Teletext overseas holiday and flight offers faxed to you in one quick go. Updated throughout the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 0891 66. Dial from a telephone link to a fax machine. Cost 39p per minute cheap, 49p per minute other. This service may involve a long call. Teletext Fax Bag. Get the latest UK teletext offers faxed to you in one quick go. Updated throughout the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Simply dial 0891 66 from a telephone on the same line as a fax machine. Updated Monday to Friday. Calls cost 39p per minute cheap, 49p per minute other. This service may involve a long call.
Hello, Mr. Clown. How are you tonight? How are you? Good to see you again. Living your emojis in chat there.
Hold on. Have you been shafted by Ceefax Holidays? Assigned to a crappy roach-infested hotel? Refused a refund on a one-night stay in a caravan and pressed that in for 28 quid? Then call the Ceefax Holiday claim line today. These people did. Johnny Johnson from Burnham Upper Ronson said,
I called the Ceefax Holidays claim line and they've promised me a full refund on my trip to the South Pole, which was cancelled due to the virus.
nice one, Johnny. Not only did we get his money back, we smashed the kneecaps in on the people who took the booking in the first place. And Spam from Notre Dame said,
I called the Ceefax Holidays claim line and got a refund of the can of stewed steak that I painted on the wall to pretend my hotel room had rising damp.
too right, we sorted Anne out good and proper. Not only did we do that, we got the paintbrush back too. Call now if you've had a holiday furloughed or otherwise cut short by circumstances that were entirely within your control. Our hotline operator is working 3 hours a day, every other Tuesday to process your refunds. Call now! But don't call Tuesday mornings, call Tuesday afternoons. Hello?
Hello? I don't want to be a nuisance, but have you sorted it out yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, every company wanted their own palm tree or their own boat or their own sunset. You couldn't reuse anybody else's, they would know it.
So after drawing the palm tree for the 50th time, how do you make it different? Oh, the look of disgust on Steve's face right now.
It's like when I went to Ladbrokes, it was just the same thing. It was horses, it was horse racing, it was football, it was cricket, it was basically balls and horses. Yeah, it's just insane. Everybody wanted their own. Seriously, you can't see reason. They would come back and say, okay, I had my advert done. I want something different, but I want like this.
Right. I want it like this, but different.
Yeah. And it would just be, you just have to change a couple of pixels. As long as you change a couple of pixels, you're okay. Because they wanted to, I think everybody wanted to know they had their money's worth.
And you would do several of these a day?
So many a day. I probably was doing, 30, 40 pages a day from scratch. And then having to have people double check my prices because I gave up on looking at prices. Because you get to a point and you just see numbers and you did that holiday really go out for £5 a week? That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anybody buy that holiday?
People have tried to buy those holidays, but I think there was a disclaimer somewhere that mistakes could be made because I was working there.
Because Steve Horsley is working here. Don't trust him.
Don't trust the prices on those pages. Yeah, I don't know how long I lasted doing that. I think I was only there for about a year before I went off to work for an advertising agency who actually, I was doing their Teletext graphics. And they were basically exclusively holidays. Right. So they had a lot of holiday clients. And I was in their Teletext department.
And you didn't draw any naked girls then?
Well, that's how they all are, but the trouble is they're all in silhouettes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Everyone on the beach. I can honestly say I didn't draw a swimming costume on anybody in all the time I was there. Yeah, but if you'd have seen what was happening behind the palm trees.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Teletext Sofa Club Live. Yes. Music by Mr Nissness, so thank you to him. On tonight's show, we have Teletext Yes, we're looking deeper into the inner workings of the Teletext universe, the Teletext extended universe. There is Netlore and there is Faxlore. So why can't there be Teletext And that is what we're going to be discussing tonight. Now, hello to everybody in chat. Mr. Clown, he says, yes. Yes, indeed, we are back, Mr. Clown. He does the V sign. He does the V sign as well. Hold on. Just put my video on here. Hello. Right, he's done the V sign. How very rude. How very rude, Mr. Clown. That means something else here in the United Kingdom. But he's also said, money, baby, money. Give me those spondulas, baby. Yeah, we don't get paid anything for this show. Well, maybe a few teletext pixels, perhaps. Oh. Was that the Max Headroom intruder I just heard? ZX Gasser is here. He says, yes, isn't that the man from Del Monte? Yes, the man from Del Teletext Monte tonight. And, haha, says Mr. Clown. I might as well say his full name. I mean, this is an 18+ rated show. I keep looking over here because that's where the chat is. So hello to everybody watching live and on the VOD. In about 10 minutes time we'll start the show properly, but for now I'm just, bantering with the chat. I'm told that's what you're supposed to do on these live streams. There you go, hopefully you can hear me properly. Before we start tonight, apologies for my rubbish microphone. I'm back on this again tonight. I've made an informed decision to go back to my headset microphone, because the one that I used in the last show was about a meter away from my face, so it wasn't working particularly well. Unfortunately, this one is quite low. Right. So what we'll have to do when Carlos enters is test our volume levels. Oh. That guitar solo, baby! Dig it. Sounds like Road Rash on the Mega Drive. Oh yeah. Right, so my co-host Carl is presently joining. So we'll just end that screen share now, because we're about to say hello to Carlos. Well, let's give him the big intro. We'll give him the big one. It's Mr. Carlos Attrell, podcaster, teletext fan, media fan, and just a general great all-round teletext artist type bloke. Hello, Carl.
Hello, Dan. Thanks for the introduction. How about that?
Hello. Right, so can I just test the volume?
Yes.
See how this goes? Say something. Say hello to the viewers.
Hello, and welcome along to the Teletext Sofa Club podcast live stream for the 12th of May 2023. Does that sound any good?
You're quite loud because my microphone is very low.
Oh, I'm booming. All right, hold on.
Turn it down to about maybe 2/3 and we'll try that.
Right, okie dokie. Can I do such a thing?
Yeah, if you go to where it says mute in the bottom left, there's a drop up button. And
A
you can
drop
go
up?
to,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
go to audio
crumbs.
settings.
Audio settings. Oh, this is dicey.
Oh, he's going to crash the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the opposite of that time when he saved me at the first block party by licking the batteries and putting them back in the remote.
Indeed, that's right. Yep. Okay, right. I'm going to just be very quiet for a second.
Be quiet as a mouse. Hello, Simply Sarah UK in the Discord. How are you this week? Our best listener. Our most. What would be the best way to describe Sarah? Our most fervent listener.
Erstwhile.
Yes.
Erstwhile. That's good, isn't it? I always like being erstwhile. How's that? How's that for volume?
I have to wait for the 15 seconds lag. How is he, guys? Top podcaster Carlos is here.
Hello, 12th of the 5th, 2023, 1205 2023.
That's definitely better. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Right. Thank you. That's fantastic. I apologize. Tonight it's my fault. Go on. Sorry.
No, I'm only joking. I was just messing about. Sorry.
No, well, it's my fault tonight because I'm on my headset again, which is not fantastic volume-wise. So I have to ask you for a favor and turn your volume down. So ZX Guesser says, you've got Discord notifications on, by the way. Do you know how to turn them off? Because in the test that I did yesterday, I got them turned off, but they're back again. So if anybody knows how to turn them off, that would be fantastic. Because I've got Discord on mute.
I think you can turn that down in the settings, can't you? So like your desktop noises, you can turn it down. Maybe it's coming via the desktop. I don't know. I've got Discord open too, actually. So if I minimize you, I don't get lost. Oh yes, you're in the corner. Isn't that marvelous?
What's the Discord support line?
Hello. There must be some sort of bot in existence for it.
Yeah. Well, I thought there might be a number.
Help bot.
Yeah. Are these real? They're not real numbers. They're just pissedcustomer.com. Discord customer service phone number. That's not the real one, is it? They don't have a number, I don't think. Otherwise, I would have called them right now and asked them how to do it. ZX Guesser suggests a big hammer.
Yes. I'm so not going to use Discord while I'm streaming with you. So that's put that on the tin hat. So let's get you
Yeah.
back.
Well, I could turn. In fact, you know what? I'll X Discord off, and I'll have
No, yeah.
my iPhone to check Discord.
I'm going to close Discord. Sorry, guys. but
Sorry
it's
about
just
that.
Because,
Yeah.
it's because my browser is rubbish. Oh, not responding. Can you hear me still?
Yes. Ignore the other stuff. Just have your computer running on sort of minimum power mode or whatever.
Yes. Yes, I must admit it is a bit of a. I might have to take the unfortunate step of buying a new laptop. Unfortunately, because it's really good for recording podcasts, but that's about it. I can't do two things at once.
Well, maybe you could use it. Guys, Carlos has a Ko-fi. Coffee? Is that how you pronounce it? So if you
Yeah.
donate to that, he'll be able to buy a new computer and he'll be able to bring you high quality podcasting. Not that he hasn't been doing that already, but you know.
Well, I said at the end of one of my last podcasts, I said I would do a Patreon, but I think I'm giving everybody the highest level possible going already.
Yeah. Well,
That's cheap talk, isn't it?
something a lot of people do is have £1 tier for everybody, so everybody gets access to everything. So
Yeah, no, it does work well, but I think that I'd feel guilty if I took like 3 or 4 weeks off. At the moment, I don't feel that I owe people too much. I think if I was taking money off them compulsorily, I'd have to offer something a lot more than what I'm doing. So
well, it's a thing we can discuss in the future. Yes,
I've had some cards printed up anyway.
Oh
They're
yes,
good.
yeah. I did want to talk about those because I have some of those here.
Oh, have
They
you?
arrived in the post the other day.
Oh,
I hope
brilliant.
that's focusing properly. But those are the exclusive Bite High No Limit business cards from Mr. Carlos Ettrell.
Yes, designed by Mr. Faramond.
And fast and fantastic they are too.
Yes.
Fantastic. There you go.
Good, that.
Scan that now.
You know, your green screen is not doing you many favors.
It really is. It disappearing? Yeah. My hand was disappearing.
I believe they called it aliasing, but they're nice. I just thought I'd get some printed up for when I'm out and about, doing things maybe in Harrow and things like that. But also I'm sending them out to people who have helped me. So I'm going through the process of writing to everybody who's actually contributed to the podcast.
Okay.
Just sending a thank you letter and doing that. But I don't have everyone's addresses. So, but I'll send one to Steve Rosenberg, care of the BBC, see if that gets to him.
Yes, that would be good. I mean, yeah, it was nice to receive a letter from yourself and these in the post. It's nice that somebody appreciates your work. And Carl, we very much appreciate yours.
Oh, it's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you to say.
Right. So should we quickly catch up with the comments before we go live tonight?
Yes,
Well, we're already live, but
Well, this is the pre-live.
This
is the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Look, Queen's Park Rangers fan drinking out of a Brentford mug. What's
Oh,
that about?
You had that before, didn't you? You showed me that before on a previous show.
It's really given my team a lot of good luck drinking out of that this season. Mind you, present company accepted, Dan.
Well, this one has not given me any luck. Is that disappearing?
Is
it the disappearing yak?
It's magic. It's like a magic yak, magic mushroom cup.
Mushroom cup? Is that Super Mario Kart? Right. So, so Retro Pixels is here. Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Retro Pixels. He says, yes, percussio. Is that Italian? Retro Pixels? Percussion maintenance. Ah, yeah. Mr. Clown says, are you using Netscape Navigator, Carl?
Mr. Clown, hello, sir. Mr. Nissness, I believe, is the I pronounced his name wrong in my last podcast.
Mr. Niceness.
Mr. Nissness rhymes with business. Nissness rhymes with business.
Retro Pixels says, so you chaps have to use the King's English now? Yes. Now, I was thinking about this earlier because
King's English. Gosh, yes.
I used to have my impersonation. Hello, this is the Queen. So now it's just going to be hello, this is the King instead. The same voice.
Prince Charles, pass me that pen.
Do you remember that show when we were taking the mick out of the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip? The ZX, the Teletext R episode.
Oh, right, yes.
We're doing impressions of Prince Philip, yes. That was great. And then he died.
Yes. Oh, crikey. Well, I won't mention any names because
treason.
It'll be recorded. Yeah, it'd be treason.
Yes.
Well, it could be. You could insert any name here.
Will be beheaded at the Tower of London. Right, so Simply Sarah. Simply Sarah is in Disco and she says, hello, hello, I'm part of the Sofa Club furniture. I'm like a table lamp or something. Yeah, maybe some sort of lava lamp like off Club 140, drawn by Mr. Biffo, yes.
A chaise lounge.
On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge. Right, so that sort of leads us into the Sofa Club, doesn't it? Because on the chaise lounge club, yeah.
Would it be the Prestel chaise lounge club?
Yes.
Les clubs, les chaises lounge, les
Prestel, yes. Le Minitel Rose chaise lounge. Right.
And yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Teletext Sofa Club and Teletext R podcast crossover tonight. My co-host is here with me, Carlos Attrell. I nearly said my Carl is here. Hello, my Carl. How are you, my Carl?
Well, hello, my Dan. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. It's good to be back. It's been a while, but it's always great to be back on the internet. What do you think about that?
It's brilliant. It's nice to be back, and there's plenty to do a little bit of catch up on. And you've selected a lovely subject to talk about tonight as well. So looking forward to talking a little bit about that, but having a good old catch up really. And it's nice to have people in on the Discord, having a sticking their ears in and adding their two penneth from time to time. So it's all good, mate. All good.
Excellent. Yes. Hello to everybody in the Discord. It's always good to have you here. So, Nathan Dane is here. Hello. Hello,
Nathan.
So, you did mention tonight's topic, but I can't take 100% credit for this because I was watching YouTube and a podcast cropped up in my recommendations, and it was called Faxlore. Now, appropriately enough, the name of the podcast is Netlore, but they were doing an episode on Faxlore. Now, both of those types of communication are plays on the word folklore. So folklore, facts and traditions that have been accumulated over time through education or experience. So Faxlore, a very, very interesting subject, actually. I couldn't wait to text Carl about this because I knew he would love to do an episode about this. So what's your understanding of Faxlore, Carl?
Well, thanks for the rabbit hole, really, Dan, because it's one of them things that you've that's always been around, but until you actually sort of look into it, and you don't really see the universe that you get yourself into, because Faxlore originated from something before that as well, copier law. So the technology of the day was photocopiers. People would photocopy things over on a photostat or a Xerox, and these jokes would be circulated around offices. People would photocopy jokes and circular letters, chain letters, and anything like that. And then as the facts would distort, the original joke might get lost and a new joke be created from it. So you get hoaxes and you get sort of hearsay and myths coming around from it. And by extension, Faxlore would be putting those pieces of paper through from copier law and sending them to other offices, and they would slowly distort as well. Some examples that I found on the net was a tie on a cartoon cat will get longer and longer, and people would make the tie longer and longer on the fax machine. And of course, when you're sending it through on a fax, the fax doesn't cut off until until the drawing's gone through. So like you can imagine people like spamming somebody else with a cartoon of a cat wearing a tie, and it just going on forever.
So it's funny for the first 2 pages maybe, but by the 50th page, you're trying to unplug the thing as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, if you weren't getting that, you're getting chain letters, a fax attack as well, where if you're unlucky enough, it used to happen on Facebook with us, modern equivalents, isn't it? It's sort of like there used to be groups like Let's All Poke Dan, and everyone joined the group and poke the person that they were mentioning, share their profile on Facebook, and everybody would poke them to death. So yeah, you had a fax attack as well, similar to that. Plenty of conspiracy theories. Like one of the most famous ones was Gullible being removed out of the dictionary, which was apparently accredited down to Faxlore as well. Plenty of Faxlore jokes, probably better than some of mine. Told you I was a gambler and my wife's left me, but don't worry, I think I can win her back.
Hey.
And I'm here all night. So there's quite a few examples flying around of Faxlore, and we see, hopefully we can explore as that moves into other tech laws as well. You can see that goes into things like copy and paste and all that onto Facebook and socials. It's the same stuff, but maybe doesn't degrade as much in quality.
Yeah, it's like a game of telephone, except it's telefax. I learned the other day that fax machines are called telefaxes. So that's a cool little crossover. If YouTube is to be believed there, but it isn't always, is it? But
No.
yeah, I remember back in the 2000s, I would get those types of emails that would say, send this on to 5 people, otherwise something bad might happen to you.
Yeah, you won't run out of fax paper. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing about moving over to the internet, but that's more Netlore, as in communication via the internet and the communication of these urban legends, etc., knowledge passed on between each other directly via email. So that was the evolved version of Faxlore, which was the evolved version of copy law, and then before that would have just been, I don't know, paper law, just word of mouth, basically.
Yeah, or knocking things up on a typewriter and things being miscommunicated in transcriptions. That'd be a thing. And also, when I was doing a little bit of research into it, there's a whole Soviet side to it as well. I don't know. Did you pick up on that at all, Dan?
Yeah, that's mentioned in the guys. If you want to look this up, there's an excellent article on Wikipedia. And normally, I wouldn't recommend Wikipedia articles because they're secondary sources, but this one is an actual piece of research, and it's got over a dozen actual, what have we got here? We've got a bunch of books that aren't on the internet, old books from the 90s, urban folklore from the paperwork empire, urban folklore, basically a series by Alan Dundes and Carl R. Pater. I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, that's an excellent starting point. And right, so
I just want to add about the Soviet thing. It's very interesting because typewriters were registered to the state, so the subculture of sending subversive messages had to be done on non-registered typewriters. So it was quite interesting to see how their version of Faxlore was going through, really just to try and be sort of, I don't know, I guess like white hat hackers, the anonymous of the day.
yeah, sorry about that. I lost where I was. Thank you for jumping back in on the Soviet thing. I was going to say that in the first sentence of the Wikipedia article, it does mention those Soviet thingies, and it does actually remind me of an excellent documentary I saw about how they would have bootleg music, but they would use printed X-rays. The material they print X-rays on. It turns out that is a half decent way of printing records. So
Yeah.
it was obviously it had a limited shelf life. It might last a few months or whatever.
Celluloid sort of that sort of plasticky material. I think could be
That's
quite
right.
explosive as well, actually. Yeah.
Oh, be careful then. Make sure your turntable doesn't blow up. But yeah, they would do that when Western music was banned. They would get imported bootleg music and play that on the record player with a picture of somebody's leg on top. Yes. What would be an appropriate song for that? You put your left leg in, your left leg out. I don't know.
Well, I won't dignify that with the answer that you're waiting for.
Well, sorry, yeah, I'm getting off topic as I tend to do. Yes, sorry.
No.
So Faxlore, yeah. So Faxlore is a very interesting topic, and it's funny that this is the first I'd heard of it in my whole life. It's existed since fax machines started, basically. The first use of the term Xerox law was in Michael J. Preston's essay, Xerox Law, 1974. And then photocopy law is sort of the generic term for that because Xerox is a copyrighted term, isn't it? I don't know if that's become like Hoover or something.
It's a generic name, isn't it? So
yes.
yeah. So people Xerox things, but yeah, it's photocopier, I guess, for us like non-advertising types.
Yeah, and I would definitely think about getting those books, certainly, because it sounds like a very interesting subject. But what I wanted to ask tonight, because this is a teletext stream / podcast, isn't it? What I wanted to ask is, could we apply that idea to teletext and have Teletext lore? So that would be all one word, as in urban legends, humorous stuff, etc., transmitted via teletext. Now, I think it should be pointed out that people couldn't communicate directly via teletext in the same way as faxes, because broadcast teletext was a one-way system. But it could be said that teletext does have its own folklore, and there was a way around that, because there would be moderators. It would act like a heavily moderated forum, wouldn't it? You'd have letters pages, things like Backchat and Magazine, which we'll go into a little bit more tonight. So yeah, this relates to teletext in a wider cultural context than just the history of the medium. So we're talking about its social impact and how it's remembered. So Carl, I wondered if you could come up with any ideas off the top of your head as to what might constitute teletext lore.
Well, I think that because it's asynchronous, as you say, so it's not like a 2 and 4 thing where you get feedback straight away from a recipient. A lot of the teletext lore does stand up in the way that you'd interpret how teletext is behaving in front of you. So a very good example that you highlighted to actually contextualize the whole thing was well, you know, when the page doesn't refresh as quickly as it normally would in a football score, you know, I actually thought it was because they were changing the page, and of course, lo and behold, the score would change or a wicket would go down. You know, or it would flick very quickly and then flick back, you know, and you always thought, you know, that it was because they were working behind the scenes to crank it up. And it only really just occurred to me when we were discussing the podcast that perhaps that's just a load of rubbish. So all this time I'd believed, you know, that bit of teletext lore.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did that. I would watch cricket matches on teletext, and if it was taking a long time, I would start to get nervous because, well, maybe that's just because following the England cricket team in the 90s, it was like that. They would lose a wicket every 5 minutes. So every time teletext stalled, there just so happened to be a wicket because we were really bad at batting.
Yes, yeah, I preferred it when we were bowling because there'd be a quick turnover of runs, I reckon, especially in the Ashes or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it says something that in the 90s you preferred it when we were bowling,
Yeah,
because of course
that's it.
cricket these days is all about batting, isn't it? It's more and more it's about the
It's very
smacking
much
it out of the
it's
ground.
very much first to 300 now, isn't it? And
Yeah.
first to 300 wins. But
Yeah. Yeah, but going back to the teletext law, I think that comes under the heading of rituals. So everybody would have their own rituals, and superstitions, I guess, is a good one. But there were also rumors, lots and lots and lots of rumors about teletext services, because teletext ran for so long and there was so much content on there, so many magazines and so many people using it. Well, people would make up stuff. Some of it was true, but a lot of it was just made up stuff. I mean, one of mine was, will the page load quicker if you press hold and you unhold it again? All that would do is make it so that you could see the pages scrolling around at the top. You know, the number that changes?
Yep, the magazine as it's going round, yeah.
You could see where it was currently in the broadcast. But in my head, it was, come on, make it hurry up, come on. So that was...
Yeah, and that's no different to if you're watching something on Netflix and it buffers, you pause it to try and make sure there's a little bit more in the cache, so when you play it, it doesn't stutter. So the thought process carries on, and now it actually works. It works. But back then again, rituals, it's sort of like you would I had a very daft ritual of like shutting my eyes for 30 seconds just to see if I could get the same page up again as it went round in a carousel. And actually, you wouldn't know if it actually flicked over or not. It's just like just some sort of like mind exercise I used to do from time to time. And the clock tracker as well, going to the clock tracker and some of the pages up near the 600s, I used to have sort of conspiracy theories about what the ITV region opt-out pages, what they were, and were they the first to know about something, in the event of an emergency or something like that, or seeing some of the abbreviations and wondering what they actually meant. There's a lot that law could be based on that. But in these enlightened times, you could perhaps dispel some, but others you just don't know about. I mean, there's this infamous Ceefax holidays that keeps coming around as well, and that is law with a capital L now, if you ask me.
Well, it's partially our fault because we propagate this, don't we? It's sort of, it's always been there. People always used to call it Ceefax holidays because Ceefax became a sort of generic term for the medium. Like we said, Hoover
or Xerox,
or Google or Xerox, yeah. So it was no surprise that people get the two mixed up. But the reason why that meme is funny to us as teletext geeks is because, well, of course, Ceefax was the BBC, and the BBC never had any advertising or holidays or anything like that. It was a Teletext Limited thing. But then Teletext Limited caught that sort of controversy by calling their teletext service Teletext, don't they? It's really confusing looking back and having to write articles because you always have to clarify, we're talking about Teletext Limited here and not Teletext with a lowercase t.
But then the BBC don't help themselves by spelling teletext all in upper caps. So it's sort of like it's very hard to sort of cross-reference with those as well.
Yeah. Well, ZX Guesser says, in regards to your shutting your eyes to not see all the later subpages for spoilers. Now that reminded me of when you would try and avoid the football scores on a Saturday, which was often a pointless exercise because it would just crop up on the screen. Now, I mean, these days I do it with the Formula One. They just blazingly give it out when I'm listening to the football. They're saying, oh, Max Verstappen has won in the Formula One. Well, thank you for that. I was going to watch it later.
Yeah, because when you turn the text on, it goes to page 100. You always had that risk of the double height headline being about sport, and if you were trying to avoid something, it would often come up. You go, oh, another loss for the Lactics. Yeah, oh right, okay, that's it. I know what I'm not doing tonight. I'm not watching the highlights. But there was that goes back to a story that with Ian Westbrook, who I interviewed on one of the Teletext People podcasts. He said that they used to run the snooker as live on the BBC, but they were quicker on Ceefax because the game had probably finished 20 minutes prior, and it was only being shown as live on grandstand, for instance. So they used to get complaints. They said, "Can you slow the Ceefax down or embargo the results?" So it would tie up with what people were watching on the telly. So yeah, that's often that sounds like that's not a modern phenomenon at all. It sounds like it could happen that way. So yeah, my shut my eye so I don't read what happens on magazine subpage 12, so I could get back round to subpage 1 again would be most fitting for that, I reckon.
Yeah, waiting for the QPR scores to come around. But you only want to know what the other scores are and not the QPR score. But then it's completely ruined when loads of goals are scored. So they go into a fourth subpage.
yeah, you get loads of different scorers. It was all right if they scored a hat trick, because it'd be one name with three numbers after it. But yeah, when you've got and nowadays, I mean, they're putting down assists, missed penalties, VAR overrules, and all that. If you imagine that on a Ceefax page of today, it'd be like as if it'd be like the live international score where one page was devoted to it, and it'd be like that for every single fixture in the top tier of football. So yeah, no, there is that. So did you have any more sort of superstitions with your Ceefax and Oracle habits?
Not that I can think of, but
Anything
I always
with bamboozle at all? Did you ever sort of think that you could?
I know what you're referring to. I never heard this myself. I only heard this when I came onto the internet and heard people talking about it and joined this sort of community, that you could cheat at bamboozle. I had no idea that was possible. Maybe because I was young, or maybe I didn't want to.
You weren't a rule breaker, were you?
Well, you're only cheating yourself, when you cheat at bamboozle. So it was mentioned in our introduction theme by Mr. Wayne Dearden. Thank you very much, Wayne. One of the long-time episodes, watchers of. Sorry, I don't know what I'm going on about. One of the long-time watchers of Teletext Lv2.5 and listeners to Teletext R. A while ago, he made us some tunes, and one of them referred to that fact. He said you could cheat at bamboozle by pressing buttons really quickly, which is basically true. It sums it up in a nice little package there. I had no
page
idea.
back, couldn't you? If you did one wrong, you could page back on modern sets. But yeah, I don't know whether you could sort of you couldn't just I don't know, brute force all the possible answers, maybe. Is that what Wayne was saying? He does a pretty good impression of me as well.
Well, do we have a recording of that? We need to. Yes, he did. He made some. Yeah. You know what? In the next show, I'll do another set of clips and I'll look for that, and we can put that in at the start of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, the reason why I was put off earlier was because Eject is here, and he says, in this house, we love Ceefax Acid Crew. So shout out to Ceefax Acid Crew, who we've both met, I think, at one of the block parties in Cambridge. He came along for the last day, and he signed a shirt. One of your shirts, Carl, not this one, a red Star Wars shirt.
Yeah, the Stormtrooper.
That we sent off to Yle Text in Germany.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have Fraulein Goose. I wonder if she has that up on her office wall. I'll ask her about that, actually. Eject says, hello there. One of my videos made me interested in the concept of teletext. Oh, well, that's fantastic. I'm glad that I could introduce you to this crazy rabbit hole, and hence you're here tonight. So welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. So I'd like to open this up to the people in chat while we're talking about it. Did any of you guys have any superstitions or rituals? Like, for example, I had a ritual of checking the pages at the same time each day, because it would be in the morning, either before breakfast or while I was having breakfast, just quickly, because it would only take a few minutes to eat breakfast. But teletext was great for that because of the brevity. It was short, to the point, and you could get a very good picture of everything that was happening in the world. It didn't go into too much detail. Or you could actually press like 107 and go into more detail. But you could, I guess, take it in at your own pace, which was a great thing of teletext. So you could go to work and say, oh, did you see that thing about this guy in the media? Was it Ozzy Osbourne? That Ozzy Osbourne, what has he been saying this week? Haha. And you knew that because you checked teletext, and you could pretend to be knowledgeable about every subject.
Well, when we're talking about Teletext and hoaxes and things like that, there've been some really good ones. Worms, the special Team 17 April the 1st edition, and that's come round as Teletext now. Whereas some people are genuinely asking about it because they've seen something on the web about it, and they're going, did anyone actually play this game? And it's like a retweet if you love worms, coming up. So that's a very good one as well. There's just plenty of examples now where although Teletext is like an asynchronous thing, now we're in a world where we can communicate to and forth, and we're talking about the subject of teletext. The lore around it is growing all the time.
Yeah, I always enjoy it when some of those hoaxes get reposted, either in seriousness or tongue-in-cheek, because it's always nice to see them again. It's always nice to see them roll around again. Like with the worms thing, excellent artwork by Steve Horsley, who actually worked for Teletext back in the day. And that's why you believe it, because it has that genuine element made by a genuine teletext artist from back in the day. And I guess that's why Ceefax Holidays works in sort of the same way. It's genuine enough to fool people, but as Peter Kwan points out with that screenshot, you can tell that it's fake by the fact that the shadow on the palm tree is facing the wrong way. The sun is in the top right, but the shadow is casting to the right. Sorry, I'm just
that wrong on Oracle as well.
No, I don't think it was. I think that was just whoever made that page, that hoax page, didn't take into account that one particular fact.
Oh, was that like the Chippendale mouse then? That was deliberately left in there, maybe as a McGovern to say that it's not, all is not as it seems.
Well, yeah. Let's say that, shall we?
Yes, let's say that.
So I just want to break off from our chat here to address something in the chat. Eject asks, so Teletext acts as somewhat of a news website, or is there more to it than just that? Well, back in the day, it was sort of a early news website that you could get on your television, but it was broadcast with the TV signal in a hidden part of the broadcast. And if you had a Teletext TV that could read that information, you would press a special button on the remote, and you would get all the textual information printed on screen in this wonderfully 70s looking format with the 8 colors and what is it? You could only fit 80 words on the screen. But nowadays, I guess there are lots more crossovers with news websites. So if you go to NMS Teletext, for example, the Ceefax service, tribute service run by Nathan Dane, then that is taken from the BBC News RSS feeds or the news feeds, and it's printed up there. So there was always a crossover, I think, when the internet or the web and teletext coexisted. So I just wanted to respond to that there in chat for reject. It's a little bit off topic, but ZX Gesser says the worst thing that people do is crop out the header so people can't even see the date for a clue. Oh, right, we're talking about the Ceefaux Holidays thing there, I think.
Oh, I see. Yes,
No,
yeah, because the date of it. I mean, and the COVID one, which was a pastiche of it, that I made with the broken palm tree and just like rubbishly put it in COVID-19 where Ceefax was. I've just realised that the shadow must be in the wrong direction on that one as well.
But no, that stuff is great because it's a transformative meme in the modern internet age. Pardon me, Windy Pops. It's very memeable and it's out there in the public domain. It's a public domain picture. Anybody can use it for whatever they want. It's actually a composite of different, it takes little bits from different pages. So you've got, I don't think I've mentioned this on anything before, but look at the top, you've got the Ceefax logo taken directly from Ceefax. Holidays is taken from the travel and weather page on a 90s Ceefax page. And then you've got the palm tree, bottom left, taken from a BBC travel page. And the rest of it is just filled in with Megaluf 1988, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a composite of different pages.
It's a portmanteau. It's a celebration of teletext.
And I feel like that is very much in the modern spirit of remixing things. They put it out there, let other people adapt it. And I think that's one of the great things with teletext art and what the community is doing. And Paul B. Davis, of course, who you spoke to on your podcast, you're putting the information and the data and the software out there for people to try it and, you know, adapt it however they want, put their own spin on it.
You're leaving the tools out as well, so they can just pick them up and just carry on with them, which was you know, it's a really good way of looking at it. And you know, we had a chat about art, and his idea of art was not to explain too much about things to people. You know, just go, well, here it is, and just use it, which is lovely and refreshing because people like myself who aren't particularly arty have to explain it. Because I think we're trying to justify it in our own minds, but people who, you know, who are clearly sort of gifted for that just say, well, we just go off and do it, you know. So it's really interesting to get other people's viewpoints on it because, as he said, he was at a presentation once and he was explaining how this, that, and the other was doing, and someone just interrupted and said, "Just show me the bloody thing," you know. You know, I'm losing. You know, the magic is going with every sentence you're adding.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've hosted the teletext workshops, and I think the best thing to do is give a tiny bit of context and then let them try the editor, walk them through the editor. I've always thought that you could learn it in an hour, or you learn how to create a competent teletext page in an hour. And we've got all sorts of different software now. If you guys head on down to teletextart.co.uk, I've recently updated the editors page to finally have some of the newer programs, Q Teletext Maker, and what was the other one? There was another one.
TTF Edit, is it TT Edit or something? It might be that one. TF Edit. So
I've not put that one on yet, actually.
Oh, TTE Edit, sorry. Oh, and you haven't put that one on. Oh, dear.
No. Oh, dear.
We'll edit that out in the bloopers, then, Dan. Yeah.
Oh, dear. It was Telepaint, actually.
Telepaint. Oh right, okay. I haven't tried half of these ones actually. I do use the ZXNet one often, very often.
Yeah, I
Very
think
often.
these days I'm more likely to use the ZXNet editor than EditTF. But this week I was looking into how you can download EditTF and use it on offline. And there is a little piece of JavaScript that you can add or code so that you can have your own custom sized canvas, which I'm going to look into because I would like to make actual art. It's not teletext art, teletext inspired art using that software on as big a canvas as I want, because I feel like I'm familiar with that software. So I would like to, rather than placing pixels in Photoshop or your image editor of choice, I'd like to give that a go using a teletext editor to make proper pixel art.
Well, I know
So
that you can adapt the scripts on ZXNet with that, because something that Alistair did help with, but you just have to watch out for your own screen size. If you go mega big, it doesn't sort of like doesn't lend itself to navigating around the screen too well.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, this on the quiet, teletext has a lot of functions. You'd think it's very simple, but I mean, just to learn the basics, you don't need to know all of them. You learn them as you go along. You just at first learn how to draw with pixels and add bless through alphanumerics, and you're good to go, really, because that is like 80%, 95% of what you need to make teletext art. Right. So, well, going back to our teletext lore, I think language is an important part of folklore. And so it's an important part of teletext lore, our concept of teletext lore that we're exploring tonight. So if anybody ever visited Digitiser, you'd know that specific teletext magazines had their own internal languages. So words and phrases that are particular to that little magazine, or little idiosyncrasies and things like that, that are particular to those. For example, magazine. I'm going to go into magazine quite a lot, I think. I'd like to speak about that. But just to say that they would often censor the name of Backchat, which was the BBC competitor to magazine. So it would be B apostrophe, B asterisk, CK, CH apostrophe T, which I always thought was very funny. But oddly enough, on the BBC equivalent, they didn't talk about magazine. So I guess they're living rent free in their head.
It sort of reminds me, with the inter-network rivalry. I mean, it always beggars belief. Not Ceefax or Oracle at all, but when ITV had the FA Cup, the BBC would go on Football Focus and not even mention that these teams played a game midweek, because but everyone knew that it was happening. So it's like very, very strange. They just wouldn't cross promote at all.
I've
always
guess that
worked the same.
Go on, sorry.
No, I guess that all worked the same for when Ceefax wouldn't mention the other one at all.
Sorry, I'm getting overexcited, but I've always thought that that is utterly ridiculous, and all channels should say what other channels the football or the cricket is on, so we know. They're withholding the information from us for the fact of trying to ignore the fact that these are the channels exist. And the BBC was very much like that. I think Ceefax was. This other thing, it doesn't exist.
That's right. It's which is a shame, really, because when you look at a bigger competitor that comes along, it'd have been better if they perhaps worked together on a lot of things, and then that might have curtailed the pay-per-view and all that of other events now that have come in. If they say, well, we don't have it, but it's on ITV tomorrow, because at the end of the day, if you've got someone who doesn't like football, they're going to be on the other channel anyway, so just put something on for that. So it's very, 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 very bizarre behavior, really, and it's You know, it's not as if like the BBC are getting advertising revenue. You know, it's not as if they're going to get more money by, why put things up against each other? You know, it should be good fun for everyone. But yes, well, that's not Teletext Lore, is it, Dan? I do apologize.
It's not.
I've got
But
on a
while
rant.
we're on the topic of football, it's almost exactly 10 years since Wigan Athletic won the FA Cup on ITV, incidentally. And I have here a mug that I designed. Can you see that, or is that disappearing
Yes,
into the
is that
background?
Mr. Watson?
It's Mr. Ben Watson, who scored the winning goal in the 2013 FA Cup final. And I have 4 of these mugs, 4 of these guys. And,
Has Ben Watson got one?
He hasn't, no. So they're produced by Retrotext UK. So I think we should get in touch with them and say, send one off to him. He might enjoy that. Yeah.
You want to do a special commemorative mug for the tackle he jumped out of when it's his last game with QPR. He jumped out of a tackle, so he didn't go croc when he could get a move.
Listen, over the course of his career, he had so many injuries that kept him out for long periods of time. In fact, I'm going off on one, but in that FA Cup final, he had suffered, was it 8-9 months out with a broken leg? And it was his first, second, third game back. And he comes on and scores the winning goal in the cup final. But there you go. Sorry. That's football chat. That's going to be cut out in the edits.
It's nice to reminisce. For anybody who's not quite up with football or soccer or EFL, poor Dan's team, his love of his life, got relegated 2 weeks ago from the English football championship. So he's got another season now where they're going to be playing in a lower division, and it's heartbreaking for Dan's team because not a lot of them were getting paid towards the end of the season, and I don't support Wigan, but I very much know that a team picks you. You don't pick a team, and you follow them through thick and thin. So Dan's having a thin moment at the moment. So I'm going to let him rant off, and we avoided the drop by 3 points as well. And that was because a team below us got deducted points for financial impropriety, which gave us it did us a bit of a favour. Although we did actually win a couple of games as well. Although we lost to your lot, Dan, didn't we? So
yeah, that's right. We actually were playing quite well towards the end of the season, but it wasn't enough to keep us up. We got a 3-point deduction ourselves. We're going to get a massive points deduction next season for not paying the wages. We've no money. So who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully we can actually start next season. So there you go.
So we'll excuse Dan that because he needs a support network around him, everyone. So nice positive messages in on the Discord. And for anybody who's watching from across the ponds, make Wigan the team that you're going to follow. They're going to be in the English League One next season. Try and find them on any live streams. Try and do Dan a favour.
Yeah. Well, once I attempted to do a live stream to support Wigan Athletic, to financially support them during the last fundraiser, but I only went half-assed on it, which I shouldn't have, and we got 0 donations. So that sort of put me off the idea of doing charity streams. But it was kind of a joke as well at the same time. So yeah, Teletext Lore. So in regards to services having their own language, look no further than Digitiser, rather, not Bamboozle. Look no further than Digitiser, which had its own internal law. In fact, it could have had the law for 500 teletext services. It had crazy characters. It had its own weird in-jokes. Do you remember the revealos? So those were press reveal to see XYZ. So it introduced an element of interactivity where you press reveal on the remote and you could see a nice little mosaic of some snakes saying hiss, hiss, hello, hiss. But it was small pleasures, but delightful in its own way. And there was a little bit of the haves and the have-nots as well, because if you didn't have reveal functions on your remote, you couldn't see it, and you were thinking, oh, what is that? So you'd go to the school playground the next day and ask, well, what was that reveal? I don't know. Let's ask Jim. He's the richest one. He's got the fanciest color television. But what did it say?
And he wouldn't read it because he had an Amiga.
Yeah. Excellent. So ZX Guesser says, mock, mock, a mock, chill, ning, ning. Those are just a couple of the phrases that were used. There were like hundreds of them. If you go to Superpage 58, the website by Chris Bell, who we've had on this show in the past, you will find a whole glossary of these terms, an A to Z of these silly digitizer in jokes. I mean, off the top of my head, though, there was the Swans, and they found their way into Digitiser 2000 and the modern incarnation of YouTube Digitiser. What else did you have, Carl? Do you remember?
Well, we had Mr. T with the bins. That was always my favourite one. There's one I could get as well. So yeah, stay away from my bins. And it was like all in like the last thing was always in uppercase, you know. And it was like, yeah, so that was excellent. You know, Chart Cat used to have as well. Man's Daddy, and the diary as well. The diary was great. And yeah, I was reading back through some of them on Super Page 58 when I first, you know, getting reacquainted with everything. And my God, you know, that was so funny. I went out and bought Paul Rose's book, Confessions of a Chatroom Geek, on the strength of it. So yeah, no, it was some really funny stuff. But yeah, it was sort of like it was a subculture within a subculture, wasn't it? And you had a lot of deference and a lot of references paid to things within the world of Digitiser on the Teletext service. It does actually make me think, and one of the guys in the Discord will know this, but there was a serial letter writer who used to write in, and I can't remember the name of the chap, but I think he used to write into Digitiser and a lot of other places as well. And used to get his thing up, and I think he's very much Teletext as well. So I can't remember the chap's name, but I'm sure that someone out there will know it. So keep an eye on the old Discord messages as they come up there, Dan. Because he used to send in the most pointless letters, like, "Oh, I find it, really bad that you're getting free discs on the front covers. Where are the software writers going to get their money and royalties from?" And then he'd send another letter that completely contradict his point a week later. So yeah, but yeah, when we get his name up, we can do some more digging on that.
ZX Guesser says it's Stuart N Hardy.
Stuart N Hardy. So do you know much about this guy?
Well, apparently he used to write into, let's have a look. He has a page on Your Sinclair, and we've got discussion and sightings 1998-99. He was in Your Sinclair magazine. No, it wasn't actually. Chatterbox on Ceefax, Digitiser channel for TV letters on 5 Text.
It was a scourge.
Yeah,
he was a one-man content creator. He could be like a chatbot, couldn't he?
Here's an example. Hot topic. Will piracy ever be eradicated? And Stuart says, piracy will, unfortunately, never be eradicated as long as greedy computer users persist in their quest to gain something for nothing. So we all agree with that, Mr. Hardy. Is he sort of the Piers Morgan of letter writers then? He's trying to rile people up and get people to call in or respond to him.
Well, I think that what I took away from it was the fact that he would write in with the most obvious thing, but it would get printed. But yeah, he would oftentimes contradict himself, and to the stage where people wouldn't understand his style of writing or his handwriting, and like, you know, depending on what it was, either put it up straight away or completely ignore him, depending on who it was. So yeah, it was quite interesting. So yeah, I think he's very much Teletextlore as well. So we should add into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he was printed because he was so infamous. At some point, He would have been part of the furniture, I guess. Part of the sofa club. There you go.
Well, maybe he was like the emergency broadcast system. You know, if you weren't getting letters from Stuart N Hardy, you knew that the service wasn't going out.
Yes, it was like a test. Hardy Day is March the 14th, apparently. So we've missed that. We've missed the opportunity to do a stream about that.
Why March the 14th?
Well, like the Queen, Hardy needs an official birthday so that we can celebrate his prose. Hardy Day, 14th of March, started 2000, is a day of contemplation, merrymaking, and messing around Mr. T's bins. Praise you, Lord, for the birth of your son, Hardy. Gerbil.
Well, that we'll certainly give that the old hashtag treatment next year. Then we'll try and bring that up. We'll put that next to National Teletext Day.
He's Teletext in himself, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Which reminds me, National Teletext Day, would that be another law? Because I'm sure I see that at least twice a year.
Yeah, Teletext Day. What is it? September? Something like
September 23rd or something like that. I can't remember
around
now.
about that time. And I think this year will be, is it 49 years since Ceefax went on the air? And then next year is the big 5-0, which we've got our plans for.
We have plans.
There you go. So the Teletext Lore has been going on for almost 50 years, guys. 50 years. We're even going back to the
original.
Yeah.
The original Teletext was Mr. McIntyre putting a hidden message in for Mrs. McIntyre to get the stove on, rub the sticks together, get the stove working, because he's coming back for his crispy pancakes or whatever they had in the 70s. It'll go back in his British Leyland's little car, back down the A40, which was all clear, no cars, back in the 70s, and he'll have his Finder's crispy pancakes when he got home.
Did he actually mention the Finder's crispy pancakes, or is that some law that you've added?
That's law as of 2023. I was just trying to make it as 70s as possible.
Oh, sadly they don't do Finder's crispy pancakes now, do they? So yeah.
I wonder if he, when he had his first Finder's crispy pancake, the curry flavour one here today, I'm not having any of that foreign muck.
Yeah, so that is the original Teletext Lore, and we're still on the lookout for recoveries of that. Maybe one day. So that is word of.
Sorry, I would say we're getting close, because there was a post on Facebook, although it was only a videotape of some in-vision teletext. It's come up from 1972. And the page carousels are running quite interestingly sub 100. It's now looking like it was an experimental test that they were running before a football match. Or something like that. So speaking to the guy, he said that if he can get a stable enough capture, he'll videotape that bit, and then we can have that obviously to show at events and things like that. But that would be the first, that would be the oldest thing of the oldest visualization of the teletext service, and that'd be from 1972. So that's on the Teletext Facebook page. And that's been shared from the guy that actually done it on his page. Apologies to him, I just don't have it in front of me to give his name at the moment, but it's a very cooperative, and I know that Jason's been chatting to him as well. But it won't be what we would call for the benefit of any viewers, it won't be VBI text where you can just run it through something and press the text button and bring it up, but it's a video recording of some teletext output, and it's really weird. It's like, the character sets and all that are slightly different, and the layout slightly different, and it appears to be on a black and white set.
Yes, this is via Tim Drury, and he has posted these to, as Carl says, the Facebook group, and it's a sort of very blurry looking, it's actually cut off at the side of the screen, and it says, in a sort of Ceefaxy font. Ceefax, page 4. Today's sport. Today's racing is at Nottingham, and why? Nottingham continues tomorrow. For today's full programme, see Ceefax, page 5. Soccer, 6 matches tonight, with Sheffield United meeting Charlton Athletic for the second replay of their third round game. Details, page 6. Rugger. Bristol play Bath. The All Blacks start practice at Richmond this afternoon. So that's utterly amazing. So it's very, very, very early Ceefax, and it looks way different than the format we have now.
And all that in the same week that we saw Mort Smith's job advert come up as well as a new newspaper clipping. The very advert that he applied for Ceefax back in 1974, I think. It was found and put on the Ceefax group, and it was the same. It was the advert that Ian Irving and Mort Smith replied to get their jobs as sub editors.
So it's a very, very important piece of teletext history. Yeah, Russ posted that, Rusty Russ. £5,060 per annum, including London waiting under review. What would that be in
money? Yeah.
Modern money?
Well, £5,000 back then. But that is a lot of money. That is, I'd say that'd be about sort of like 40 or 50 grand, I'd say. I don't know. I'd have to put it in some sort of computer to figure it out. But I mean, people were just after post-decimalisation as well, so that would be like money we're used to, not base 12 pounds, shillings, and pence. So it'd be sort of like modern decimal money. But yeah, I mean, 5.5 bags per year. I mean, a car was about 1,200, I guess. So so you could multiply that. You could buy 5 cars out of wages. If I could buy 5 cars out of wages now, that'd be about 100 grand, wouldn't it?
It was
100 bags. 100 bags, Dan.
It was quite a lucrative job then, wasn't it? It was very much at the forefront of British technology. So
I bet Mort would disagree.
Oh, right.
I bet it still weren't enough.
Yeah, he had to run upstairs and downstairs, didn't he, with the reels? So that's very technologically advanced.
You had to rip and read and then just type it all in off by heart in a terminal.
Yeah. David says crispy pancakes are still available in all good supermarkets. This is important.
Only good ones.
Yeah, only the good ones.
They're probably about £5,000 now, aren't they?
Yeah, inflation. A genuine crispy pancake from 1974 in this day and age would cost £5,470.
I reckon if you kept that in the freezer, that'd still be good today.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Well, Sarah says, I have a recipe somewhere for making your own crispy pancakes. That way you can have any filling you like.
Very, very nice. But I used to like the cheese one. They're nuclear. Like you break it open with a fork, and like it's not like the adverts at all. It's the same stuff they put in the Earth's core.
Yeah. I mean, like that's when you put a wrap in the toaster, and you put cheese on it, and when it comes out, cheese explosion.
Oh crikey, yeah, that's or the Pop-Tart. That was the
nice
other one
though.
as well. The Pop-Tart that looks harmless, and then you bite into it, and the roof of your mouth stays on the Pop-Tart as it leaves your lips.
There should be a name for that, shouldn't there? A word, one particular word in the English language. Hell, probably. Yeah.
Well, we'll open it up to the Discord because they're an inspired bunch tonight.
Yes.
So when you were looking in the into Teletext then was there any sort of like, because there was in Faxlore, I think we probably did similar research, and I just wondered if you could cast any light on Blinkenlights or anything like that, because there was these pseudo German things that were written down, and like I'm looking at them and I just don't find them funny, Dan. Am I allowed to say that? It's just sort of like I just find that either casually discriminatory, or I'm not really sure. I mean, they're very much of their time, and I was just wondering if there's anything similar on like the Digitiser or any other teletext service that could be sort of an equivalent to it.
Right. So they were very much of their time, and they've not really stood the test of time. They've become less funny, I guess. Well, you could say that, and Biffo has admitted this himself, certain topics that they would touch upon, like homeless people, but they would call them tramps. It was an in-joke that, like, 14 tramps on a bus or something, just randomly thrown in there. But I suppose if Digitiser was broadcast now, that wouldn't really be the sort of thing that they would allow to pass.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting with that. But yeah, so I'll have a go at reading this Blinkenlights for you, if you like.
Yes.
This one here is a Faxlore. So this is circulating Faxlore. Achtung, alles Touristen und Nockenschen Loonkeepers. Das Machine Control ist nicht für Giffenpoken und Mittengraben. Otherwise, ist easy to schnappen der Springwerk. Blowen, fusen und poppen Kornen mit Spitzen Sparken.
I thought you were going to finish it off.
Yes, das Machine ist gegen by Experten only. Ist nicht für Gewirken bei dem Kopfen der Rubennecken Sightseeing keepen das Cottonpickenhander in das Pockets. So relaxen and watching their Blinkenlights.
It's a very, very obtuse way, isn't it, of saying keep an eye on the lights.
Keep an eye on the lights. But the best one that I did see, and I think it was under Xerox law, and it was a circular that went round plenty of offices in the late 60s. I think it was never be afraid to ask somebody something that you don't want to do yourself.
Yeah, well, I think that would very much work today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, I mean, so with Teletextlore, then we've added so far. We've got our serial letter writer. What was the gentleman's name again?
Stuart N Hardy.
Yep. So I think he's basically going to be used. I'm surprised he's not on Twitter or someone purporting to be on Twitter. We've got the Magic Magazine carousel. Pressing hold to see if that would actually cache the page and make it load any quicker. What else did we have? We had
language.
Language, and the way other people refer to each other in the teletext world. And also other popular bits of lore, which were actually, which we always go back to, the Wickham Wanderers Super Striker.
Oh yes.
Where they advertised on Ceefax. That's got to be lore as well. And they got what was the gentleman's name again? The
Rory Essendo.
Yeah, Rory Essendo.
Roy.
And then the Queen's Park Rangers football manager who got the sack via Oracle or Ceefax. So yeah, there's plenty of lore around it. So yeah, it's quite an interesting thing. But I think the lore of the lore of obsolete technologies is so fascinating. And it was very much like a necessity of its time. But this is where perhaps Teletext doesn't quite fit, because now that it's teletext has been democratized for people who choose to use it, because there's online editors and things like that. It is now becoming the sort of like the synchronous communication device, and it will evolve laws of itself. I mean, it could be very careless to make a we all joke about Ceefax holidays and all that, but it could be very careless to actually put, I don't know, some sort of page that was meant to be passed off as a real page, and then that go into the internet search engines. And with things like AI and all that, now they could bring that up and cite that as an original source. And you know that law would then become sort of like very much like the hoaxes that were put around on Faxlore.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I was going to mention that's vaguely related to that is Teletext is still going. And what if one of these hoax pages was broadcast on one of those pages and believed to be real? But it's not entirely beyond the realms of possibility, because Ceefax Holidays has fooled many a person. It's even made it onto the BBC itself. So I think that's the ultimate cyclical life of the Ceefax Holidays page. It will come full circle when it actually gets shown and presented as a real thing. It sort of happened when it was on the One Show. There was a screenshot of the Ceefax Holidays mock-up, and there was a guy, a Vox Pop guy, that said, "Oh yeah, I remember Ceefax Holidays. Yeah, my sister used to go on it." Yeah, so we've sort of reached that now, but it makes you feel sort of guilty if you started those sorts of hoaxes, doesn't it? Because that wasn't the original intention. The intention was to have a bit of a laugh.
But a touchstone was hit, wasn't it? That was the thing. The touchstone was that people remembered it for holidays. People remembered the name Ceefax, so the rest sort of like it lends itself to things quite nicely. And you know, when you look at the content that people are now providing on Ceefax, you know, proper parodies. Was it Ceefaux? Would put that you know they put up spoof TV and spoof movie, you know, references and all that, and you know they are very funny, and they're funny because they're delivered in a Ceefax style. You know, if they were written out as a tweet, it would just look like a dad joke. But when they're done on Ceefax, you know, there's a certain gravitas, there's a certain believability to what they're putting down.
Yeah, I love the Ceefaux Twitter account. I made them a picture when they got to, was it 100 subscribers? But they've absolutely
2,000 now, aren't they? Yeah,
they've absolutely blasted through that. It feels like it was only the other month I was making that, and now what, 5,000, something crazy they've got.
I think it's 2,000 now. I think I'm sure they're 2,000, but without checking. But yeah, you know, really good. So it's sort of and it's really strange. It's like yeah, I'm sure people have all these good ideas at once, because I'm sure I tried doing something not similar, because I was never going to say, oh, I'm going to do these like all the time regularly and build a following up. It was just sort of like, oh, one extra thing I could do, you know, as Teletextlore, and I was doing sort of spoofs. I think I come up with one sort of like Joe 90, and it was Joe Brown being teleported back to 1990, where he had to he was going to get arrested because he was going to try and pay for something without actually having any money, because obviously he's come back from 2023 where you don't need any. It was funny. Just take my word for it. But hilarity ensued. And yeah, I think there was another one that I had as well. Yeah, they'll come back to me anyway. So it's
yeah. Well, I think they're always fun to see. Yeah, those sorts of things, those homages and those pastiches to the old teletext formats. And it sort of plays around with the folklore a bit, let's say. And that's how teletext lives on, I think, in these sort of half-truths and remembered things that get reapplied now. Like that, the mistaken belief that teletext was slow. But by the 90s, it was really quite quick, because you had modern televisions that cached the pages and all those other things, that those myths that we've probably busted on the Mythbusters show that we did of Teletext are. Now, I suppose all of those count as folklore as well. The real turn of the worm being sick, stuff like that.
Yeah, and the yeah, there's just so many sort of interesting examples to do with to do with the teletext, and you know, there'll certainly be a lot more as they creep up. But yeah, I think it sort of like hit a critical mass with people now who are sort of, when they Google an image, the Ceefax holiday one comes up, nice and high now. So it's certainly a law of unintended consequences maybe on that.
Did you ever go around to somebody else's house, have a beer, and watch a football match on teletext? You know,
Yes.
in the 70s, 80s, 90s, when only a few people on the street had a teletext television. Did you do that?
Well, we used to have like when you couldn't get the TV, when you couldn't get the game live, you would have that on, and it basically in the end you'd just be watching InVision and completely ignoring the what was going on, especially with the World Cup or something like that. You'd have one game on, and then you'd have the results from the other. But one thing that we used to do in the late 90s, maybe just when Teletext took over, Stan James used to have Stan James is a bookmaker in the UK. Stan James used to buy some space, and I found some pages, and I think they were available to end users, but weren't. And it was a black box that came up in the top right hand corner. This is how early it was, because normally your scores go there now. But it would give you the live odds on corners. It would say how many corners there were, throw-ins there were, and it would offer you the spread betting odds up in the corner. And that was a service, obviously, for some real sort of messed up gamblers who could gamble on absolutely anything. And that used to be on UEFA Champions League when ITV used to carry it. So that sort of dates when that was. So although it sort of sparked this memory off that, that's what I used to watch. I mean, it never used to bet or anything like that, but this fascination that like you and I have got with something going on in the background, it was always nice to see. But that would update, and that would update quicker than the bloody news. It was like, because that's where the money was. But there used to be sort of like live InVision betting towards the end, so it got very innovative. So you could sit down and have a beer to that.
I do remember that. I definitely remember the InVision betting. Obviously, we would never put a bet on any of that, but it was just fun to see it. See, oh really? Chelsea 30-1 to score next. Wow, really? That much? So yeah. So what you mentioned about going round to a mate's house introduces kind of social hierarchies. Going back to what we said about Jim in the playground is the posh kid who has access to the reveal functions. He might be the one whose house that you all go to and crowd round his TV, have a Budweiser or whatever, and watch the InVision betting.
Yeah, and it often a Trinitron as well. If it was Jim with the reveal button, he'd have a flat square tube Trinitron screen with fast text.
Yeah, oh, fast text, of course. Yeah, because that's another thing that sorted the rich from the poor, isn't it? Fast text. We paid an extra £100 for fast text televisions.
Yep, you're either renting one or you were loaded and you had one. Sort of. And actually, that was the thing. My set didn't have fast text on. My mates did, and it was like, wow, this is incredible. It's sort of like you understood how it works and all that. It weren't anything like that. And then when the new tellies come out and it knew what channel it was going to, because there was some extra teletext packages it could read to tell you whether you're on BBC, ITV, or Channel 4. So there's all sorts of things like that. But the law would go that I thought I had that in my set, and I'd be searching every single page to try and enable it. Also, knowing what I know now, not knowing what I knew then, the level 2.5, 2.5 test screen, in the engineering pages, I used to stare at that and going, well, I don't really know what contiguous graphics are anyway. I just didn't really know. But when you see what that page was meant to look like when it is going through a proper chip, you go, wow, this is like, this is 21st century stuff.
Yeah, and you might see that and say, wow, is this going to come in the future? some guy would have you on and say, "Oh, I've got level 2.5 teletext round at my house. You know, look how good I am." Just boasting, making stuff up, like saying, "I've got Sonic 4 me. Look at that Sonic 4 on the Mega Drive." Just making stuff up. So that was the sort of rumor that you would get, I think. Not massively popular, but I'm sure some people must have claimed it.
No, yeah, no, for sure. So, but yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a whole world out there for it. But it's nice to. What I like about the whole thing about these laws is that tech law as such, it's because thousands of people use it, and you look at now, like it's gone in now to memes and copy and paste things, and it's now sort of like it lives on. It lives on, in sort of like TikTok videos and things, where people try and do outtakes on TikTok videos and things like that, and that's how the law is now going to carry on going. It will never finish. It will never finish. You'll always find something else to assimilate on.
No, because we have cultural artifacts. So in folklore, these might be physical artifacts, like this pen. Like this very pen here has been passed down through the generations. But with teletext law, I think it will be more intangible. They're more data, memory type things. So teletext artifacts would be artworks like the weather map, the infamous running clock that would tell you when to put the clocks forward and back, bamboozler, and of course palm trees. So I don't know if you can think of any other things along those lines, the teletext cultural artifacts.
Well, the travel pages would have like the queue, the traffic queue that they did on the picture. That was always a good one. And most teletext menus, excluding the John Burt era BBC one, which I've got a personal hatred for, where it was just like very boring. But yeah, there's all sorts of things like that. And I remember the Buzz logo as well, and the brick wall that they had, I think, on Oracle Kids, and yeah, there were some really good, iconic pieces of work there. And obviously, a lot of the work that Ian Irving did as well. So with 4T.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
very
good as well. Yeah.
So incidentally, guys, just a quick promotion piece. There is an interview, a written interview right now up on teletextart.co.uk with Ian Irving. And in that, he says that the show was never called 4T the Dog. Now, everybody remembers it as 4T the Dog. But of course, 4T the Dog was the character, and the show name, or the cartoon strip name, was The Fantastic Adventures of 4T. So that's another sort of Ceefax Holidays type thing that's become more
sort of
well known,
or an idiom that's come up as well. Yeah. People call it something else, and the adopted name becomes what it is.
That's it. Yeah. Well, what's it called that when? I'm sure there is an actual term for that when it's a sort of euphemism or I don't know, a neologism. I can't remember, but there's a word for it, isn't there? When that it's not supposed to be called this, but people call it that. So that would, I suppose, sum up Ceefax Holidays as well. ZX Guesser says, my uncle works for Ceefax and he brought a level 4 set home, but you can't come round and see it because we've all got smallpox and he has to take it back next week. Sorry.
Can you play Steve Davis snooker on it, mate? I just need to know that as well.
That would be good.
That would be good, wouldn't it? That's it. Yeah. My uncle's brought home a level 4 set. Yeah, brilliant.
Although you'd get mixed. Oh no, yeah. Well, on level 1 teletext, you'd get mixed up between the brown and the reds, wouldn't you? Because there's no brown color.
And they're all square. All the balls are square.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, brown 2.0 on level 2.5. Or brown 2.5. Yeah.
That's it.
That's another digit.
You get the orange protester on 2.5 as we can get a nice orange going across the table. So that'd be quite good. But you'd still have to use whole graphics, wouldn't you? So if you had two reds together, or you had a brown and a red together, that'd be a whole nightmare because it would be either two browns or two reds or two black objects on a green table because you've completely messed the code up.
Yeah, imagine doing the protester in level 1 or 1.5 teletext. It'd look like he's been shot and blood is exploding out of him.
Yeah, he's just self-immolated on the table.
Because you would have to use red, of course, rather than orange.
It just looked like you've just done a really good break.
Yeah. Yes, what a break! It was Steve Davis himself jumping on the table. Yes, what a pot that was! Oh yes.
Take that, Thorn.
Yeah. Take that. Ah. Oh, brilliant. £5 to the person who does that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Right. So, guys in chat, do you have your own teletext lore concepts that you would like to bring up before we sort of move on to another subject? Can we think of any more of ours?
The Bernie Saunders thing that came up, where it came up as a meme, looking really bored. I think it's either Obama's or Trump's inauguration, and he just sat there cross-legged with a blanket over his leg, looking particularly grumpy. And then that went across the demo scene, Commodore 64, with that as well. And it basically a picture of him appeared everywhere, and like in the Wild West, and he'd be there like photoshopped and all that. And then that became a sort of a lore. And then of course I then saw that, and then saw a Commodore version, thought that would work really well in Teletext. So I put him in front of a Ceefax page. I mean, that was a good few years ago, and it's a real short-lived meme, because if you put it up now, people would really sort of struggle to know the the significance of it. But again, that was another perfect lore, a perfect lore example where it transcended every technology, and anybody who had the power to adapt it in any way just went out and mobilized and done it. You got the Max Headroom intrusion as well, which is another great piece of lore. It's a piece of lore that never stops giving, and then that works quite well across with Teletext as well. Sort of like intrusions. So if you see some hidden code, is that someone trying to hack into Teletext?
Yes.
Are there hidden messages coming across? Is this your 4-minute warning? And they would tell you, but the snooker was on. So is this the only way you're going to find out? And it goes back to like clock trackers and regional opt-outs, secret codes. Is there one particular thing going on, a misspelt word that's instructing somebody somewhere to go off and do something or not do something? My mind's racing away, but that's exactly what laws can do. It's sort of like perhaps a harmless way of not being too conspiratorial about things, maybe, but you can certainly let your imagination run wild with them.
Yeah, absolutely, because you would often have poor reception as well, which would garble your the words on the screen.
Yes.
So that could often change the meaning of what you are seeing. So it would remove words, perhaps, or change letters, so that you can't properly see what's going on, and that can be quite ominous in a way, because.
Yeah, because if you're a follower of patterns and things like that, when you see something like that, then there is a term, isn't there, where you hide the messages in like in an encryption sort of way.
Cryptography?
Yeah, cryptography or something like that. We use frequency analysis, and if you're getting J's and G's coming up where you should have E's and I's, it can probably blow someone's mind.
Yeah, that's with the recoveries though, isn't it? When you recover and recover teletext from a videotape, and it sometimes comes out that the software can't tell the difference between E's and J's. That's a very common thing. So Teletext recovery. Oh my God, Teletext recovery. All the E's are J's. So that's quite humorous though, isn't it? That's a very specific teletext geek piece of lore, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's it. And it's also there's what was your one where someone did a perfect shit as well instead of a perfect shot.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of that word now. That it's not encryption. It's that'll come up on the Discord. I hope. It's when you do find secret messages and things. I'm trying not to use the phone to find out what it was, but you can do a lot of that.
Hello phone. Hello phone. What are secret messages called? Hello.
I might have to type it in a minute if you're not careful. But yeah, no, it's all very good. Very good, mate. So what we got in the Discord? Anything coming up? Anything?
Well,
any laws?
David. ZX Guesser says steganography, perhaps.
That's the one. Thank you, Guesser. Steganography.
That's hiding the data in something else, he says.
Yes. Which I think, you could do a lot of steganography with teletext art. You just convert it back to, you could just type in loads of rude words and then just change them into graphics mode. You could have the most graphically beautiful words. So if you type it in and then just change it into graphics, and it will make a picture.
Yeah, that happened, didn't it, with the teletext page broadcast on Doctor Who? It was supposedly a hidden signal from an alien planet. But when you actually put it into teletext and change those garbled graphics into text mode, it says stuff like bum fluff, arse flap, and stuff like that.
Oh, I did not know
Rude
that.
things.
I did not know. So that's another bit of lore then.
Yeah.
Hidden messages on that.
And
who
if you
picked that up? Was that Pete Fagan that picked that up? I can't remember. That was. Yeah, because he loves his Doctor Who, and he's a Doctor Who buff.
I was saying we should get Pete Fagan on the show when we talk about the Max Headroom incident again to get more information on the Doctor Who connection. That was an idea I had for the last show, but I forgot. Oh yeah, ZX Guesser mentions the Doctor Who thing, but if you remember our show with Pixel Blip, the Masters of Teletext Pixel Blip, it's called, he talks about the hidden messages that he includes in lots of his work. And if you go back through his discography, if you will, you can find them if you're looking for certain things. So that's a fun thing you can all go into.
Oh, very good. Things to do. Bit of homework for everyone.
Yes, homework. The
Homework,
Teletext Safer Club homework, yes.
That's it.
So in regards to teletext lore, David says premium rate reveals. So that would be a good hoax, wouldn't it?
Yes. Can we? Right. Okay. Yeah. So how could we do this grift then? Where it'd be like you could do a Kickstarter for it or something like that, and say, yeah, we will do you some reveals. If you pay, that's it. I'll do for my Patreon. I could say, right, pay £1 a month, and I'll just do a teletext page. And like it'll be blank, but I'd say no. But if you run that for a proper set and press reveal, your name will be on that. Personalized, So
well, I think it's more the fact that you had to pay a premium rate to actually have a reveal button on your remote.
I see. Yeah,
I think that's what it refers to.
Yeah.
ZX Guesser actually has the message that was broadcast on Doctor Who, and it says, "Mon." Nom, bog off you twit, ass face, bum, Doctor Who rules okay, so does Dave's program.
So how did this come? How was that discovered then? That was like a graphics mode, and it could be. Did someone actually just copy that out and just put that back in and just change it in an editor?
I think at some point somebody must have caught on to the fact that this is probably a hidden message, so let's try it.
Oh my god, that's very impressive. Very impressive.
Either that or Dave, who presumably programmed that, told everybody about it. Oh, there's a hidden message that I put in Doctor Who.
So that's an Easter egg there. So
yes,
another bit of lore.
Well, David says also credit card reader on the remote. So see, that's brilliant, because that's the sort of thing that you would believe 100%. Because it's just the right size, isn't it? The TV remote is just the right size to put your, let's pretend that that is your credit card, and it just slips in like that, like a card reader. That's pretty good.
Page 1000. That'd be one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, page 999.
Yeah.
Yeah, in people's homages to teletext, including the Spaceman video for Eurovision last year,
Yes.
Sam Ryder, includes pages 999 and then all these numbers that you can't actually have.
Teletext, it's just wrong. Yes, yeah, you just switch. But I like the way that it was, you know, that teletext was used as a, you know, as a visual medium for the video. And, you know, I started watching it because it was teletext, but towards the end I thought, yeah, this has got a good chance of winning the song contest, you know, and it's sort of like, you know, it's almost as good as the Lancashire Hot Pots.
Well, thank you for that, Carl.
That's fine.
Well, I was thinking this week, because I got recommended that video on Tuesday, and
But like Craig David.
I was thinking on Tuesday, blah, 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 blah. Well, I was thinking that they should have asked.
Cutting the grass on Wednesday.
Checking teletext on Thursday. Avoiding the results on Friday. So, yeah, the Craig David teletext system. That's more teletext. That song was
You'd
actually
have to press
about...
Bowl Selector.
Oh, Bowl Selector. Come on, Kes. Come on.
Come on, Kes.
I don't know why I'm eating bananas. I don't even like bananas. Oh. What was I saying?
I've successfully derailed you there.
I have no idea what I was saying. Yeah, so ZX Guesser has posted the meme of Alan Partridge saying, "Stop getting teletext wrong."
Stop
on
getting,
Discord.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That's excellent. I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Oh no!
Sorry, it's okay. Don't worry. It wasn't important.
Yeah, it was good flow, man. You had a good flow going. It's all right.
Yeah, the flow. Go with the flow.
The flow. Yes. So it's,
okay. So, would you like to wrap up on Teletext
I think, yeah, I think it's been a really good subject. Really, you know, it's been so interesting. You know, really good. Well spotted. And the I suppose you better tell everyone about the podcast where you got the inspiration from, because I'd never. Was it Techlore? Did you say it was?
Well, I didn't know about it until it got recommended to me, but I think the name of the podcast is Netlore, and it talks about all kinds of different lore on the internet. So it sort of goes deep into these subjects that people find intriguing. And I think they said that one of the inspirations behind the name Netlore was Faxlore. So they decided to do a whole episode about Faxlore. And they wanted people to actually, because they were not ardent faxers back in the day, they're younger. They're younger Netlorers. They actually were interested to find out more information from people who used faxes, and if they ever came across any of their own Faxlore. So I found that a very interesting subject, and a cool podcast, I would say. So
yeah,
the Netlore podcast, if you want to look that up.
Yeah, okay, I'll certainly search that out. And no, it's been really good. Well, okay, well, we can move on to some parish notices then, if you like. And
parish notices.
Parish notices. So I think we're preaching to the converted here, but obviously Chunky Fringe is very much going to happen. It's the 29th of July, I think, Harrow Art Centre, but there's loads of information about it now on the Teletext Facebook group as an event. It's also on the Digitiser Live attendees Facebook group as well. It's an event on Discord, but it's also probably important to note that it is no ticket required. So if you are unlucky and not getting a ticket or choose not to go to the evening events, you can stroll in. It's at the same venue, the Harrow Arts Centre, and there's a nasty rumour going around that I'll be doing a podcast at midday from one of the suites there. And obviously I've got everything all sorted out and planned for that, so that's marvelous because that I've just lied there. I'm bricking it really, but looking forward to doing a special live podcast Sofa Club podcast there. We're having a walk around, go around all the exhibits as well. There'll be events as well after that where David will be interviewing some people as well. So yeah, it'll be really good going. We've been trying really hard this year to get the word out to people, outside our direct sphere of teletext. But we try and get other people to come along as well. And in fact, yeah, we got a suite come up here, so I can read now. So the Digitiser Live Weekend itinerary is now been published, and I've seen this on the Digitiser Live attendee site. But yeah, 6:30 on the Friday, you got the DigiLive Weekend Night 1 at Elliot Hall. It's got a 90s games journo, a washed up old man dishes the dirt on what the 90s games industry was really like. Show and tell, the trial of Mr Biffo, and the Golden Bean. The Beanus hosts the bean-based game show to end all bean-based game shows. Easy to say when you only been drinking Pepsi.
You've been on the beans.
No, I'm on the Pepsi, mate. I'm only sponsored by Pepsi these days.
I'm sponsored by Ben Watson. There you go.
Hey, Ben Watson. So I personally won't be there the Friday evening because I've got other commitments. So I'm gonna red light. I'm gonna do a red eye and get down there on the Saturday, and I'm going to be red eye and then coming back on the Saturday night because I'm not too far away. It's probably about 2.5 hour journey for me, so that's good. So Saturday daytime. Chunky Fringe hatching suite and dash the boiler house. So David Walford once again assembled the Teletext crew who will bring their old televisions, remote controls and videotapes to the hatch-in suite, plus video game content. Midday, Teletext Sofa Club hosted by me and featuring special guests, which might be you, Dan.
Yes.
So
yes,
we'll try and get if you're down, you'll be with me, and if you're not down, you'll be with me via a link. So don't know what your plans are. Probably we'll see what happens there, because I know that you might have some other commitments, but I'm not too sure what your plans are. Then the Chunky Fringe presents at 3 p.m. panels and fun, including Chris Bell talking about preserving classic Digi since 1997. Chris interviews Chris Jordan Cook on his our picture is just covering that the Quang discussion collecting game and much more. Can you scroll up and down? There you go. Yeah, move that across. Zoom.
That's all they can.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, it's me.
It.
Hold on, I can move. Yeah, look, hold on, I can do it. Oh, look, sorry everyone. Yeah, Quang discussing classic collecting plus much more. And then Saturday night is the live weekend night 2. And that's the ticket part. So, if you don't have a ticket for that, still come at Chinky Fringe. No, can't say that. Chunky Fringe. Yeah, there'll be loads of things going on there as well. And it'd be nice to catch up with everyone, because with the mixture of COVID and, been doing other things, I've not managed to catch up with a lot of people recently. So it's nice to get to Cambridge last year, and I'll try and make a special go of it this year to make it quite good, really.
David says Mr Biffo has forgotten what is actually meant to happen at 3 p.m. on Saturday, but it's a bit of a secret anyway.
Oh right, okay. Well, I guess he doesn't have to know then, does he? Because his name, Mr Biffo's name's definitely not up there.
Yes.
So, so he's doing, panels. Yes, he's going to be a busy guy though, and he's going to be running around doing a lot, isn't he? So,
how long is how long is the Teletext Sofa Club? Is it going to be 3 hours to 3 p.m.?
No, it'll be hour and a half, but it's very fluid. So, if I corpse, it'll be about 40 minutes, and if I just go on one of my tangents and talk about like football or something like that, it'll be 3 hours. But yeah, it'll be streamed live, and then hopefully I'll be able to take a recording of that and share it out on what on what we're very now familiar with. So so that'd be good as well, really. But yeah, I'll be looking for anyone who wants to come along and do perhaps a Teletext People special with me. I perhaps want to talk about their life in Teletext. We could do a live show on that. I've got a quiz to organise. I have I have my first prize. I'll just go and get that now, Dan.
Oh, there's a prize.
Yeah, it's a prize. Back in a sec. Hold on.
It's a surprise. Carl is going to get one of the special prizes available at Chunky Fringe, and here he is with it.
Right. Okay. It's one of these. Snowstorm.
Hey.
And that's come from Sarah Scott Rivers. She found it. She was having a clearer out, and she said, "Do I want it?" And I said, "Yeah, send it over. That'll be a prize, or we'll auction it off or something like that." But that's autographed, Sarah Scott Rivers on the back there. So that'll be one thing there, and don't know about the rest really, but we'll try and cobble something together. It won't be a golden Amiga like last time, unfortunately, but yeah. So yeah, but there'll be a few things, and perhaps we might do a quiz or something like that. And but yeah, just be good just to like perhaps interview a couple of free people. I know that I've already got a couple of good special guests, a couple of good friends of the show. Jason's going to be putting in a little bit, and hopefully I can collar up a few other people. But yeah, so it'll be pretty cool. And that's going to be in one of the rooms to the side. They've got a desk, they've got a camera, got microphones and all that for us, so we can play it being a proper a proper setup for a change.
Oh, don't forget to record it all for posterity. Posterity.
Well, I shall speak to my man Nathan about that. See if he can do me a recording. If not, I'll have my iPhone there, and I'll just record it for a speaker or something like that. So yeah, it'd be really good. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I'll be giving out my little cards as well. My little Byte High No Limit cards as well there. So yeah, that'd be quite handy as well.
There you go.
Oh look, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Hopefully they're not disappearing into my fingers are disappearing.
Oh, lovely.
Whoa.
So,
hey,
if anyone wants a card, by the way, hit me up on a social media, and yeah, I'll be more than happy to send a few out there, like an eyeball card or a QSO card. Yeah, for the price of a second class stamp, I can do that and massage my own ego, perhaps. Or perhaps if I get a Ko-fi donation, that might cover free stamps.
Yeah. Carl
free
has a Ko-fi.
Stamps. Yeah.
It's very much worth the donation, because the work that Carl is doing in the Teletext community at the moment and the interviews is utterly fantastic. So first of all, it's worth listening to those, and secondly, definitely consider donating so Carl can continue making them as high quality as they possibly can be.
Oh, well, it's very, very nice, Dan. I mean, the backup with it is, it is a hobby. I get that, and if I get nothing, that's fine. I'm not going to stop doing them, but it's just little things like the hosting, really. I think going on in years, the hosting's going to be a bit of a headache. Now it only cost me like 100 odd quid, but I want to keep these podcasts up for as long as possible. My circumstances might not always be as fluid as I like. So the idea was that I'd have thousands of people listening to the podcast that all give me a quid, and the podcast will wash its face for 10 years with Podbean. So that was my wacky idea.
Well, you are starting to branch out into other things now as well. So you're going to pull more people in as you go along. But if you just keep plowing along and making the good content, just putting it out there, then I'm sure at some point it'll grow.
I really like it. And also, I've got some really the only feedback I get is good, which is nice, and it's also nice that people find the topics interesting, just to listen through, even if it's just the once or they listen to it over. But I've got quite a loyal little following now. I've got my own Discord as well, so I stopped. The idea of the Discord was that I don't spam to death every other Discord server I'm on. So if someone wanted to really know about what was going on, they could just join my Discord, and then I've rigged one up as a podcast blog. It's quite good actually, and it just like lets people know when there's something new out, or they can give me some feedback. So that's always good as well. But I've really, I've enjoyed it. Really, it's all been good fun. But yeah, I will be doing more subjects. I've got one coming up very soon about, I won't say phone freaking, or what I could do, but yeah, it's like telephone exploiting with one of our with a mutual friend who might still be watching the stream actually, but we had a long chat for about 3 hours. There's a lot of editing, so it will be good though, and there's definitely a sequel in the offing, and there's a few more plans we got there. So it's really just a case of making the podcast about technology to people. It is a tech history, social history podcast, so it doesn't hold the keys to the history of it's not a definitive history or nothing. It's the history of that particular person using that particular technology. So if they if they think that if I interviewed you about an Amstrad and you said it had 6 cassette decks on the side, I'd never contradict you, Dan, because if you thought there were 6 on there, that's fine by me. I mean, fact that in fact the standard Amstrad had 8 cassette decks on the side,
you miscounted.
I've miscounted, yeah.
Easy thing to do.
But yeah, that's the idea of it, and I've had some really good quality stuff. So no, I've enjoyed it. It's been really good. Anyway, it's not about me this anyway. So that was the that's parish notices,
right?
For the thing we've been. If there's anything that anybody wants to do for Junkie Fringe, not just for the bit that I'm doing, but the bits that that everyone else is working so hard for, to put these events on, just bring it up in the Discord, and I'm sure that we will go out our way to accommodate any ideas or anything that anyone's got.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, ZX Guesser says, I'm sure Nathan can do a recording of the Sofa Club panel at Chunky Fringe, but it might have to be on VHS tape. If I had room in the car, I'd definitely bring the VCR and tape it.
Who said that? Was that Nathan?
ZX Guesser.
Oh, ZX Guesser. I'll say, because Nathan won't have any room because he's got to pick up a load of gear from me, so he needs some room in his boot. I've been his go-to UK collection man. I've got 6 Teletext slices and some odd thing I picked up from a man in Dagenham.
Teletext slices, like a vanilla slice.
Yeah, exactly like vanilla slice. Yeah. Now the MRG Teletext inserters.
Oh right, I see.
Yeah,
they're called slices. I didn't know that.
No, they're not called slices. They're slices now. Teletext
Teletext, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Vanilla slices. Well, we've had quite a few comments in chat here, and just going back to Teletext for a second, Mr. Clown asks the Lancashire Hot Pots. He wants to know who they are. Well, they're a local to me, a folk band that asked me to do a Teletext lyric video for them in about 2015 for Lancashire Day. And it's great because it's just all things like Yorkshire is pants. Look how good Lancashire is. Very, very esoteric humour that unfortunately Mr. Clown may not understand, but it is very strange, very strange. And on the subject of Teletext lore, What You See says, our early Philips set allowed page 900 to be selected. It just
Oh,
maps to 100.
Yes. Yeah. I think I was gonna jump in on that because my Grundig set that I had, I could put in 999. It'll go to 888.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I think
That
it
is
just
weird.
sort of knew, but I don't know really. But yeah, you could, like, on some of it, you go 9, you type in 9 twice, and then when you type the 9 in the third time, it'll go to page 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a remote control there, Dan, isn't it?
Well, that's a new remote that I had to get for my TV because the old one, well, unfortunately, I've had to retire it because the batteries exploded, which was fun.
Should have given him a lick.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Mm.
That would have been
That's it. So
not very good.
It's funny though how the FastTech links page colors. It's become the de facto standard now for all the remote controls, isn't it? It's like even today, the colors are the same order, aren't they? No one's ever decided to reimagine that. There's no patent. There's no rule to say that the colors have to be in that particular order or those colors. But that's something that I guess the colors just happen to be there, and FastText adopted it, or would it have been the other way around?
I think Teletext would be responsible for those colored buttons. Often on Twitter, I see people saying, what's the point of those 4 colors there? Because I've never used them for anything, but I do believe the origin is Teletext.
So that's like a hangover, isn't it? It's sort of like where we refer to things as uppercase and lowercase now, like for typing and things. It was only recently. I think I might have known already, but the term comes from the character set would be in the uppercase for capitals, and the lower cases or the small letters will be in the lower case of the case of letters for the printing press, and that's where upper and lower case came from. So I'm wondering if the color convention on the remote controls will be the same for us. That would be Teletext legacy.
Yeah, it'll live on for a long time.
Because we all press red now. We all press red. We all press blue. We press green if it's an advert for the Irish Tourist Board, don't we? It's sort of like all, But that's one thing I do wonder about the hidden things. Whether you can press red on certain adverts and things are there in beta testing that aren't quite ready yet, because that was one thing they did try a lot of, wasn't it? Pressing red and pressing all the colors, but I think it wasn't as fast as the advert. So like the press red prompt would probably come up after 27 seconds of the advert and it would still be sort of there as a hangover when the next advert for nappies came up or something like that. Yeah, press brown for Pampers or something. I don't know.
That's if you've got a slow television, isn't it?
I've just been knocked for 6 because I've just been sent a Ko-fi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's a telephone. So thank you. Thank you. I shall find out who you are. I don't know how to use it, but I just had a notification up that someone has sent me money. So I'm just like, wow, that I'm completely I'll have to do one of these every day. Well, that's what people do on YouTube, isn't it? Now, this is easy money, isn't it? Yeah, gosh.
I'll join you more often. Yeah, I'll jump on your
it.
streams when I can.
Yeah, I think I just have to.
You have to take it in for a second.
I have to take it. I have to figure it out because I've just been sent via PayPal some money, and I think. Thank you. You know who you are because you're the only person who's done it. But thank you very much.
Meat Lotion. Hi, Meat Lotion. By the way, welcome. Is claiming credit for that. I think he sent you the money.
Right. Oh well. Okay. If your initials are CS, then thank you very much. Absolutely blown away. Crikey, I only wanted £3, mate. But yeah. No, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
And if you ever and likewise, if anyone wants to message me, I can send them in the post a card with a little thank you on it. How about that? Easy, Easy there. Oh
that would
yes,
be
Meat
lovely.
Lotions just followed me on Ko-fi. This is getting all. It's like a telethon, isn't it? That's marvelous.
Um,
thank you,
Meat
everyone.
Lotion also asks, was it possible to have 4-digit text pages? And ZX Guesser, well, hold
Yeah.
on to that thought. ZX Guesser says usually 999 would go to 199 and 000 would be 800. Alex Grouper says there are only 3 bits for the first digit magazine, right? 0 to 7 mapped to 100 to 800. ZX Guesser says, yeah. So what were you going to say there, Carl?
There was a function called TP on the page. I remember you could press a TP button, and I don't know what it meant at all, because I just don't know what on earth it was. But it allowed you to input 4 digits on the teletext. Now I'm not sure if that was a premium rate thing or something like that, or whether that was, but it was just one of them things that the guy in the rental shop didn't know what it was. But you press it and TP would flash, and then you'd have like a field of 4, a room for 4 letters on there. Letters, 4 characters, numbers. And it was on an old Granada set before fast text, so if that helps anybody. But yeah, it was just sort of like, yeah.
ZX
So that's why I went, ooh, that's why I choked my Pepsi, because I thought, I do remember an incident. I mean, nothing happened, but it just allowed you to type those numbers in, and it would be in the top right-hand corner where the time was.
Yeah, well, ZX Guesser says time text. It's what the old alarm clock used.
Ah.
And the first thing I thought of when Meat Lotion said 4 digits is the fact maybe on some televisions you can program the subpage. Yes, that's what ZX Guesser is saying. Example, subpage 1753 loads at 7 minutes to 6. Oh, right, I see. Oh, is that how? Right. So it's demystifying the alarm clock, I guess. We should do a whole episode on that because it's
I think I'd need
magic.
a degree to understand that from that example that ZX has given me. But we need our perennial letter writer in to send us a suggestion for the next subject.
I thought you could input 4 or 5-digit codes and go to a specific subpage.
Ah, so how would the syntax and that work? It'd say, yeah, you'd say you page 107 and you wanted subpage 2, you'd put 10702 in. That's what you're thinking.
Yes, yeah. But if it is to do with the clock, then yeah, I must have got that mixed up. But I have seen that on some modern TVs, I think, that it says next to the, I believe next to the 3-digit code, it might say the subpage number.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, well, that would be another piece of teletext lore, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Meat Lotion asks, weren't there hex digits for the pages as well?
There were, but you couldn't, us mere mortals couldn't enter the hex in, but the hex was used on bamboozle. So like if you wanted to get like through to the questions, you couldn't just hot link straight to the questions because they wouldn't be on the decimal page, mate. So what would happen would be like, say you wanted page question 1, it would often be on page 60A. And then they would go like on that. So yeah, when you look, it's not actually a decimal system. It is actually base 16. So it'd be like characters like 0 to F. But we would only, as users, have access to the decimal, what appeared to be decimal side. So there'd be 5 extra pages. Yeah, there'd be 5 additional pages for every 10.
Right. Okay. Well, ZX Guesser says he's got demos on the online viewer, so you can have a look to see how it works. Can you link us to that, ZX Guesser, and we can have a look at it on the stream?
Yeah, we could do a little do a presentation.
tonight's special presentation, live, Teletext Softlab. There we go. Sorry, I'm just setting that up there. Yeah, so I think all of that comes under Teletext Law, I do believe. David W. said earlier when we were talking about Chunky Fringe, Mr. Biffo's hour-and-a-half of fluid.
Hour-and-a-half of fluid.
Yeah, maybe he's talking about our hour-and-a-half of Teletext Sofa Club being very fluid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Mr. Beans and you got our fluids.
Venus. Yeah, Venus.
I don't know whether to cheer the guy or punch him for being so expensive.
What Venus?
Well, beans are so expensive now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Well, not if you get the Tesco value ones.
HP aren't too bad, actually. They're nice. The Morrison's ones aren't that great.
All right, so we have... Hold on, I'll just move this out of the way. We've got the demonstration here. Let's see. Okay, so I believe this is the demonstration of the clock, the alarm clock. So here we go. Click to begin. Okay.
Welcome to the Teletext dugout. We're on Spark Alarm Clock 2100.
Sorry about.
Oh, hello. You broken it then? Oh.
I just wanted to turn the sound off.
Yeah.
Can you hear that now?
Yeah, can you hear me? I might blow my microphone up.
Oh, I can hear you, yes.
That's cool. Yeah.
Right, here we go. What is this music in aid of?
Well, I think that's just the it's what they use, isn't it? The Ceefax Alarm Clock page was an interesting use of subcodes. In addition to the 3-digit number, every teletext page also had the 4-digit subcode number, originally designated hours, minute, to correspond to the time. A special button on the remote control called time text. It's my TT.
Yes.
Enables a subcode to be entered, e.g. 1830 for 6:30 p.m. The TV then waits for the page with the desired subcode to be received. By pressing cancel button, the text display is hidden until the page with the requested subcode is received. So it's like an if-then statement, isn't it?
So should we try something? Do we have to press buttons?
Yeah, let me just see what you got. I'll just move what I can see.
I've just pressed anything.
Oh,
there's a button with the clock. Got it. Oh, back to Google.
Yeah, so it's TT, isn't it?
I have to turn it back on. What was the page number?
I forgot. I went looking.
Oh, we've done it all wrong. Is this the clock one down here? Time text. There it is. But what's the number? What was the number? I'm stumped. Like, help! I need an adult. Ah! Awaiting help currently. Hold on one second.
Right. Yep. Okay.
164. It's 164.
164.
I'm just enjoying Spark Text.
Yeah, it's quite good. So what's the story behind Spark Text then? This is done by whom?
I think this is done by goodness me.
TV World?
It was there, wasn't it? TV Arc. That's
TV
it.
Arc. Yes.
Oh no, I lost it again.
Oh, you lost it again now.
So it's genuine teletext service, right? So here we go. We've got the button down here, right? 4 digits have appeared there. So let's try 2005.
Yes.
Well, it's
No,
disappeared.
it's gone. It's just changed it back to a page number.
This is hard, dudes.
Teletext is hard.
I was too late.
That's it. Right. And then there's a few hidden pages on this one as well. Can you see? As I flick around, I see some A's going around and 19 A's on that. And in the 4s as well, and the 6s.
Hold on, I've
There's
put
a
the
few
wrong
hidden
number.
pages.
It needs to be 2105, doesn't it?
So what we're waiting now for that to flip round in 5 seconds. Then what's going to happen?
Oh, I'll have to wait 23 hours. Oh, it should work. Oh, there we go.
What's happened then?
I don't know.
Oh, it's redisplayed the page.
Oh, I see. Now cancel quick, apparently. Cancel quick or you won't see anything happen. Which one's cancel? This is hard. This is too hard. Right, this has stumped me, honestly. Right.
I think Alice is probably going absolutely apoplectic at both of us. He's going, this is so easy. And you're just making it look very, very hard.
You set that and press the one with the X. Right.
Oh, yeah, I said the X. Yep, it's underneath green.
Oh. Right, so in a minute's time, will it reappear?
Yes. I think what we could probably do before we wrap up is, shall we have a look around the TV Arc service for everyone? Just so we
could
can
do, yes.
We could have a little bit of nose around that, bit of
forget-
value added.
Don't forget, we do have the collaborative artwork coming up.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, well, we'll
So we'll move on to that after this to see if it works.
yes. We could always do a special and have a look around a few services for another sofa club, maybe.
Yeah.
Have a little snoop.
So now
Who
I can
does-
watch EastEnders or whatever.
Who does TV Arc?
I'm not sure. I've never actually. Oh, there is a Discord that I'm in that I've never visited for ages.
Perhaps we should have one, have them on, and
Yeah.
they can have a go through all the pages and have a little
there we
chat
go.
about this. Whoa, how about that? Very good.
Yes.
Like that. Very good.
It's fantastic. So let's have a look what we have on here.
Sang. Is that Sang Bob? Is that
Chris Sangari.
Chris? Yeah.
Quandum.
Oh, yeah. So this rings a bell. He does a fair bit for this, doesn't he?
Rex Road. We've got to have a look at Rex Road. A review of the week. Was it 138?
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's
Cute art.
posted some art in Discord.
This gritty and aggressive marriage of hard news and rock. The electric guitar riffs. Oh, was this the theme tunes?
Here we go. This, I guess, is like Park Avenue. Oh, excellent. So everybody's reading now.
Yeah, everyone's reading it now. Yeah, Rex Road.
So who wrote this? Oh, catch up at zxnat.co.uk/Rex Road. There's a link. Oh, come on. We can't have that. We can't have links on Teletext.
Well, you can't click it, so you're allowed.
No.
Ali
It's
was
it's
questioning her
forbidden.
daughter across the kitchen table. She noticed things heating up between them, and then the news side to Nathan in recent weeks. It seemed that his true colours were starting to crack through the facade now. How dare you accuse him of that, of hitting me? I've not heard of anything so ridiculous in my life.
Is
He has
Spark
been so kind to me
is
and
Spark
to you.
Spark short for South Park.
TV Arc, isn't it?
TV Arc South Park.
Arc. South, TV Arc. So it's a bit of teletext rhyming slang.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, very good. Oh, Dan, look at these names. They're all us. I mean, we've got Ali Buxton there.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
We had Nathan as well, Nathan Dave.
Yeah, it's just all named after luminaries of the teletext scene.
Yeah, who's Phil?
That's me, innit? Phil Teletext Star.
Oh, he was on earlier, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Phil Teletext. He was on the beginning of the show, presenting that advert for Ceefax Holidays, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
Have you been shafted by Teletext Holidays?
Actually, I've got a new pet hate when it comes to adverts. It's slightly off topic, but the false premise. I'll give you an example. Who said that not using electric cars doesn't meet the criteria of the future? And then they'll do an advert about electric cars. The who said bit. It's like, who said you can't have fun in the sun? And it's like, no one said that. You've just used that as a device to say your stupid advert. And once you hear them, you can't unhear them. It's like they say the most stupid things. Who said that you can't put your fingers in the socket to get electrocuted in the bath? Well, no one said that. But, we'll talk about bath electrocutions now. I wish I had a better memory than I could give you a proper example. But you know what I mean? The false premise in an advert, I'll always do that sort of thing. Very annoying.
It's like a straw man, isn't it? The equivalent.
Yes, it is a straw man argument, isn't it? If you ain't going to convict these people, you might as well let all the criminals free. That's it. Yeah.
What is a teletext straw man then?
Teletext
he's very blocky.
Yeah, no, it'd be like if you can't show me page 199, then you may as well not give me page 888.
Subtitles.
Yes.
ZX Guesser says you watch some jolly odd adverts. Agreed.
They're all on the radio. It's the thing that gets me. Oh, there's another one for the radio at the moment. There's a company called Cloudy to Clear, and they've decided to have the founder of Cloudy to Clear on, and he says, like, sometimes you're paying for the frame is too much. It's only 3 things in life certain: birth, death, and your windows going foggy.
Jesus.
I don't know whether I'd be scared of this guy. I think he's just trying to save me a bit of money. He just sounds so sinister. He sounds like you better pay for them windows, or otherwise he's going to smash them.
He's going to come round your house.
If anyone's heard the Clear advert on Virgin, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's he's trying to come over all friendly like, but I'm just shit scared of him.
Yeah, do you remember the Safe Dial UK? Call 100 106.
You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free.
Yeah, that guy.
Nice T-shirt, Dan.
Oh yeah, it's I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's the Yle Text TV.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as mine, Dan.
Shirt. What, are you wearing it right now? You're wearing the
same tailor.
Oh, there you go.
It's very nice.
Great minds think alike sometimes.
Yes, well, it's the only T-shirt that we both own.
ZX Guesser says, come on down to Big Bob's Bath Electrocution Superstore.
Who said not getting electrocuted was a lot of fun?
Oh dear, this is getting pretty dark now, isn't it? Mr. Clown says, man steps out of the darkness. I said you can. Want to fight about it? I don't know what that is. Is that an ad? Could that be an ad?
Might be. I feel sorry, Mr. Clowns. He's putting up with our pseudo-American accents that must be all over the place. Must be like us. Must be the equivalent of like Dick Van Dyke doing Cockney. to us, it's like, "Argh!" It's funny though.
He actually does a very good British accent, I think.
He does. He's very good. I do like Mr. Clown's voice. Actually, he's very. He's got an excellent broadcast voice, and I
Yeah,
don't mind saying that while he's on. He's like, when he was doing the live stream, the Friday night games, classic games night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. I mean, when they're riffing off each other, and they both sound like, like proper, a proper voice for
radio,
for a transmission.
TV.
Yeah, proper proper broadcasting voice.
No, I really liked the episode where they were in the living room together, and you could actually see the setup, and they're sitting there playing the punch out game. That I enjoyed that. You see, it gave you a sense of place that you don't really get with podcasts.
Yes, and I enjoyed the 23 for 23 that they did. It's just like, just great. Let's just pick 3 at random. I think it was Atari games, and they just played 23 of them. And regardless of whether they were like crap or not, they showed the box art and all that, and it was just really, I'm not really in the YouTube world, so I'm very selective in what I watch. It's sort of like, I know a lot of people know a lot of things about YouTube broadcasters and things like that, but I've got a very small subset that I watch. I like, a few things about trains. There's one retro gaming channel that I watch, and then there's obviously the teletext stuff. It was through your recommendation I ended up watching the Clown's output. So so I look forward to more of them as and when they come, because it's not always easy to keep producing stuff.
To shout them out, it's Classic Game Night Fridays.
Yes,
they're currently on hiatus, but I believe some more videos are coming very soon. And I guested on one of the shows.
Yes, yeah, you did, and got a different crowd in as well, wasn't it? It was quite odd. We were all in the comments, and it was quite interesting that the regulars come up and go, "Well, it was a completely different crowd," because like it must have been, I don't know what the time differences are there, but that must have been like well early in the morning for them.
Yeah, I think it was about 2:00 in the afternoon when it was 7 or 8 here when I joined. We're thinking about doing another one where I joined them, another afternoon show.
You did a nice bit of artwork for their channel as well, which I noticed.
Yeah.
So you hide your genius under a bushel again.
Well, that's because I did those pieces a long time ago.
Yes, it.
And I've not done anything. Although I have, to give something away, I've done a thumbnail for an upcoming video for the Game Night guys, Classic Game Night Live. I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Good.
Because
I think you should.
You jolly well should.
You jolly well should, young man.
So I highly recommended the Classic Game Night Fridays show. If you're into retro tech and retro games, arcade cabinets, and sometimes
dudes talking. If you're into dudes talking about playing games, if you're rubbish at them like me and you'd prefer to watch other people doing it, that's your number one visit, really. So it's quite good. But,
there's a wide selection of stuff. If you look, they've got all sorts of formats, all sorts of different types of games on there that you can go back and search the archive. And I believe we have some edited videos coming soon as well, which will help you to decide what to watch, because there's so much content. There's probably over 100 hours of content there.
I think the only thing with streams, to be honest about these sort of things, is that they go on for ages, don't they? It's sort of like I have to watch it. I'm watching it on a phone downstairs. I've got my better half next to me, and I can't watch the whole stream, so you have to pause it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm even casting it in the car and just listening to it whilst I'm driving, and it works really well. Actually, it does work well. It's just that it takes you need some serious minerals to do a podcast, a stream that long. A podcast is nice. I go, 20, 23 minutes, that's long enough. Upload it, cheerio.
Yeah. It is true that I think live streams are more for dropping in and interacting with, but you can find some fun stuff in there. I mean, with our live streams, I've put a lot of time codes so people can find out, for example, where we're talking about their teletext art, or so they can scrub
go
through
straight
and
to it.
look for the bit where we talk about them. And I think that it's something that we've moved away from a bit because we've not done any projects in the last few months. So it's a hole left in this particular show. But it's what this show was built on, looking through people's artworks.
Yeah, it's very much a collaborative, isn't it? We're just a conduit for all the work that they do. So it's but yeah, there's actually, I forgot to share the Martello Tower art that I did, and that I projected on the side of that Martello Tower. I had some pictures, but they're still on my phone. But I do want to do another one of them. I'm going to be speaking to the Martello Tower about that again.
Okay.
And then it'd be nice to feature some of the community's efforts on the side of the tower and then live stream it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we could go back and find people's favorite art that they want to submit and show.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do some sort of specialist
well,
exhibition.
whether we wanted to do like another sort of like our own mini ITAF, and you wanted to, and we could just put all the submissions on the side of that Martello Tower, and then I don't know, I'll just stream it from the phone on I don't know if I can just do that on YouTube, I guess.
If you've got
just
data.
do a live stream. I'm not sure what the there used to be like a threshold you have to meet, but I think they've done away with that again on YouTube. But to live stream from a mobile phone, I think you need to have like so many followers and all that. But I'll look into it. But that's
really?
I think that's something I'd like to do. And that, so just to give everyone an idea, that'll be about October time, because that's when the clocks change and it gets darker.
Right.
So I can then get out. I can finish work, put the projector out, just beam it at the side of the tower, and I don't have to be out so late. And also, because it's near a caravan park for the tourists, I can really do without the "what you doing, mate?" every 5 minutes if I was doing it in the summer. So I prefer to do it on a bleak winter's night.
Okay, well that would be exciting because Teletext 49 would be around that time, wouldn't it? 49 years of
49,
Teletext.
Yeah, so I think what we could look into that. Maybe we'll have a little Discord chat about a little mini festival where no one actually turns up. It's great. It'd just be me with my little projector.
Well, people can watch. It's like this. Nobody's actually physically watching us here, but out there in the internet, loads of people are watching, hopefully.
Well, you never know. So I always think when the numbers are low that they're lying. I think they're high, and when they're high, I'll accept that. Okay, yeah, they're high.
Well, byte high, no limit, of course.
Indeed. Yes.
Nobody knows what it means.
Well, yeah. So Jason gave me an idea of what it might mean, because it comes from my favourite Sinclair magazine, Your Spectrum. And it had a strapline, byte high, no limit. And I never really knew, but Jason came back and said, well, it might be because it was to do with a card game that they had to type in for that particular issue. So it's Aces high, no limit normally, isn't it? So it just said byte high, no limit. And maybe that's what it was, but I've took it now, so...
Yeah, it's good. What's the picture of the guy with byte high, no limit on his shirt?
So that's in Your Spectrum, and that's an advert for their T-shirt that they were selling at the time.
Oh, I see. So maybe somebody already has a byte high, no limit shirt.
I was thinking of actually just doing a, like, because it'd be a very simple thing just to print off, wouldn't it, on a T-shirt? Byte high, no limit. Like, it's like Frankie Says Relax, isn't it? It's done exactly the same style, because that was made in 1984 as well. So maybe I should do some byte high, no limit T-shirts.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd get one and have them on the show. So the problem is, you can't see the bit where it says I love text because of where I'm sitting. Let's hopefully remedy that.
It says I love tea on it, doesn't it?
I love tea. I love teletext. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that.
Got that nice wily detail on your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
On your arm.
That's cool. They're really nice
Yeah,
T-shirts. The
really
hard,
nice. Yeah.
nice material.
Mm.
Yeah. I've worn these to Tesco a few times.
All right. I love Tesco's.
I love Tesco. Yeah, I love Tesco.
Well, someone's got to.
You still can't see it, even though I've moved the camera. Oh well. Yeah, Mr. Clown said he would like one of those T-shirts.
All right. Well, we'll have to do some merch.
Yes, absolutely.
Buy High No Limit merch.
Well, we've got these. We've got these, so why not?
Yes. Well, yeah, I can get them winging over, so it's that's not a problem.
Way. Right.
Well, I've got some funds now. So I mean, if anybody wants some sent in the post, I've got funds. I can do a limited run now. So yeah, I'm not joking.
I'll buy one.
That's what it's there for. So yeah, so that'd be quite cool. So yeah, if anybody's if anybody wants one, hit me up on the socials, and we can take care of that.
Excellent. Right, so it's now almost 9:30 here in the UK, and it's time for. Hold on, I need to. Oh, I'm highly unprepared for this moment, but.
Oh, you want me to do the fanfare again?
It is the collaborative teletext artwork.
Oh, very nice.
I always like that piece of art.
It's very nice, yeah. I like
very
that.
colourful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the lettering as well is very distinctive because it's not. It's more of a. I think it's like a sci-fi type font.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving that very much.
And that's at Simply Sarah UK.
Yep.
On
Sarah
Twitters. On the
Sarah
Twitters.
Done all the artwork for us on our show. The intro card. This. And well, I'm just about to put the link in chat. So we can begin with our fun teletext editing collaborative thingamajig. And if you missed the last show, I'm here to tell you that Mutley is fixed. So no problems anymore, and we can actually do this again. I'm going to post this in the Discord.
Yeah. Disco. Oh, is it French? We're going to post it. You're going to post it in the Disco.
Le Disco.
Le Disco. Yeah. Oh, a special hello. I don't think Simon's watching tonight, but welcome along, Simon, for joining the Rulesy, for joining the Discord. That was a pleasant surprise to see him appear. Teletext fartists.
Oh yes, somebody.
Sausages. Is somebody cracking on already? I should do the live commentary. I'll do the live commentary on Mutley.
Oh, you can't fit it. There you go. Sausage.
We're going to have to press insert. We're going to go insert mode there. Nice use of that. Sausages. This is like an alternative to Speedball 2, where it's ice cream.
Ice cream, yes. What was
So
that name?
we
The
got-
Big Boy.
Big
Someone's
Boy.
gonna write Big Bob.
Big Bob.
Oh, right. It's the thing, isn't it? The Doctor Who code.
Oh, of course, yeah.
What's that? What's happening along the bottom there?
I think we've just got a little bit of graphics mode. No one's risked the color yet.
There we go.
On me.
Right, so if you're new to this, if you're new to collaborative teletext art, it's indeed a page that we can all edit together. You can see at least 2 people are editing there as well as me.
They're having a race.
Yeah.
At the bottom, they're having a race with the...
And how to use... yes, the lines are having a race. And how to... Yeah, look at that, they're battling for the space on the screen.
They are.
What is this? Is this going to be a bowl?
Space battle, Space Wars.
What is it, a kettle? It's going to be a kettle?
We've got a nice curve there. It could be a head. No, it's not a head.
If you want to join in, ladies and gentlemen, click the link in Discord or YouTube chat. It'll bring up this page that you see right now. There, hold on, we'll pretend that you've just arrived on this page. You hit escape. What?
That's a bath down there, isn't it?
You hit escape, and this yellow part appears here. And you can now move the cursor around the screen. You can see that this is orange here. You can move it with the cursor keys, and you can use Q, W, A, S, Z, and X to fill the pixels, or you can press C to clear it, F to fill a cell, like that. And that way you can draw. There you go, like this, with your pixels. Bless through alphanumerics, hit caps lock, and type. Oh yeah, and do not use the space bar because that happens. I guess I'm the only one who does that. Yeah, use the cursor keys. What's going on down here? What's this? What's he doing?
That looks rude.
I'm not
does
having
look
this.
rude.
Honestly, I'm not having this.
It's a yellow bath water as well.
I hope this is not somebody doing what I think he's doing, because this is inappropriate material for the Teletext.
No, Joe, it looks like that. Looks like Daley Thompson's decathlon. He's about 100 meters.
Oh yeah,
High
maybe.
per bill.
It just looks so weird though. What's going on? Is he a cow?
Telephone. Huh?
Oh, what's happening?
I'm only watching. No, I'm not playing with it because I'll break the computer.
Is this Biffo? It looks like a Biffo special. He's being electrocuted.
He's been he's got an udder now.
Yeah, I was wondering what that is.
It's a nipple.
What's going on? Is this a pair of buttocks down here?
Have we been are we being hijacked by somebody who's like just dead good at this sort of thing? Because that's really good. I actually really like the detail there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Don't know what's going on though.
Well, we've got a telephone up there. Oh, look, it's a proper retro round dialophone. Are we going to attempt curly wires?
Oh yes.
I challenge the artist to a curly wire. It'll have to be look like some V's or something like that.
Yeah,
that
good
is
idea.
very impressive though. It's all very impressive actually. I'm loving the figure in the bath as well.
Prince. Is it the left side or the right
nice
side?
use. Nice use of the C for a curly wire. Yeah, I can see that. I think of what else you could use, really. So, yeah, it does work. Build shrimped. Build shrimped. Is this going back to our Blinkenlights?
No. There we go.
Text.
Build sham text.
Build shrimped text. Is that you, Dan?
Yeah.
Ah. Just trying to think of what letter you could use for the curly. You can't really. That's special too, isn't it?
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
When Beths cry.
This is this is what it sounds like when the baths cry.
Is this Turn of the Worm down here?
That's just toes. What's happening in the middle then? Is that a submarine or something?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to get in the way. Let's put build sham text up here. There we go. Keep pressing space like an idiot. This is wonderful, by the way. I love this. He's got udders, which is curious. Curious indeed.
That's brilliant.
Whoops.
Oh, you press space again, Dan. Stop
Oh,
pressing space.
I know. I need to stop doing it. It's just a
Stop it
habit.
immediately.
It's a filthy habit. What's this developing over here?
It's very interesting.
Just gonna get this even.
I brought back some happy memories when you reshared one of the collaboratives that I actually took part in once.
Oh yes.
What is it? What was the name of the character that we did? Brian, Hermetic Brian, or something like that, wasn't it?
Holistic Brain.
Holistic Brian,
which was based on the Electric Brain fanzine.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that did make me chuckle.
And then Chris Bell posted a load of his Electric Brain fanzines. It's excellent artwork, by the way. The teletext artwork.
I'd like to perhaps read some of it. They got. I like the spirit of a fanzine. You know, I really do. You know, it's really good. I think there's plans, hopefully, to bring the Turn of the Worm back into print. I think with Miss Chris was talking about trying to do that. Greetings, Dan and Cole. Thank you very much.
So who's that? Greetings. Who are you?
Yes, write down who you are.
The green dude.
The green dude.
Cripsy pancakes. Cripsy Seabong. It just came into my head earlier today about Flenzy Seabong from Digitiser. What a character. And then when Biffo came on the show, he what could be a name for Carl? Possibly Seaman. Sea-based.
Seaman. Sea Dog. He called me Seaman, Sea Dog, and then the mouse, Armus the mouse. Oh my word.
Armus the enormous.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't think I did not stop laughing in that. I mean, if anybody was because that was a Teletext podcast, that wasn't it? And we were doing the recording. And I think you managed to do a whole hour of outtakes because we were laughing so much. Oh, that was just hilarious. Oh, and then after that, he got me sniffing Mario's rings on his Digitiser show on the strength of that. Oh, my word. I could have been the next Paul Gannon. Oh, I don't have a YouTube account. Oh, hold on. So, here, how's he watching this then? Is he watching it on the next door neighbour's fast text TV?
Back to Teletext-Lore.
No,
I don't even know what this is.
That's Jamiroquai, isn't it, with the horns? Oh, that's a reindeer.
Jamiroquai, yeah.
Yeah.
Jamiroquai is a legend. Oh, we need to code the header row. Oh, we're having that. That's a happy accident. We're having that X.
All right, Bob. Big Bob Ross's discount bath-based world of industrial accidents. It's a crispy Finder's crispy pancake in the middle, isn't it?
Oh yes.
With the radioactive filling.
Yeah.
Oh, I fancy a Finder's crispy pancake now.
Jamiroquai has got so much pancakes in his heels.
It's an emergency on planet Earth.
Yeah, he's a space cowboy.
This is the return of the space cowboy.
Well, ZX guesser says it can't be a submarine. It's not yellow.
No, it is a Finder's pancake, surely. That's looking like Turn of the Worm psychic down there with them eyes. Pardon me.
Oh yeah, Glug. It does look like Glug, doesn't it?
I think it's the colours, isn't it? I love the bath.
Has like a hat, doesn't he?
Oh, I like that. That looks like Alistair's Stop Getting Teletext. No, not Stop Getting Teletext wrong. It's that girl that he uses in his meme for frequency analysis. Teletext. Can't. Yeah, you have to be there.
Yeah, the recovery. Yeah,
that's it. I'm developing more welds for my fake TV listings as well.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. So we got Error Codes TV, and I was going to do Moody television as well, which would be like all the like all the, what do they call them? Knockoff films, mockbusters. So like sort of like Space Wars and things like that instead of Star Wars. Just trying to think of a universe for them.
Whoops.
And I was going to do 1980s pop TV. So like it'd be like Huey Lewis and the News and Weather.
That's very good. I like.
Yeah, it'd be very good, isn't it? And then the film would be Girls on Film or something like that, or See Me on Video or whatever. But just 80s pop references. See how fast you could draw here.
I'm sorry, Big Bob. I'm going to move this. I'm going to either remove it or move it. I apologize in advance.
I like that CIC.
If I can, it's me trying to clear the blimmin', but I don't know what I'm doing.
Stop pressing space.
I just did it
You've
again.
done it again there.
There you go. I've hacked it. I've hacked it. Oh, that's
Someone else is pressing space now. They're getting you in the cart.
That was in text mode, and this is in blast through mode.
Oh, I see. Someone's done it properly.
Crazy how fast you draw here, says somebody. Yeah. Crazy is right. We are crazy. So
you have to be mad to work here.
I need to be able to fit furniture on here. He's got so much Candide in his heels.
Candide.
I did it again. Sorry, viewers. I'm destroying it all for you. Meat Lotion says he loves it.
Yes. Just giving you a follow, Meat Lotion. Thank you very much.
I'm going to have to follow Meat Lotion.
Follow. Oh, Ceefaux is I was about to say Ceefax, and you're going to say that Ceefaux.
That's something different.
Zack Snyder's dinner, bath man, Gritty's slow motion cookery contest.
Slow motion cookery contest. Here he is. He's jumping through the walls. He's blasting through the walls, like blasting alphanumeric sounds, blasting whatever it's called. Blast through alphanumerics.
I don't see any V-birds on there yet.
Oh, they're probably coming.
They're on their way.
They'll be here soon. Ooh, furniture. Teletext Sofa Club furniture. Oh, Sarah says the guy in the bath I was drawing is turning into a tap. Sorry, I missed that 10 minutes ago. I was even doing cold graphics to get his arm hanging down the side. Oh, right, so that's cool. I like what you've done there. That's pretty cool. Excellent. Yeah, it can be hard with teletext though to get what you want. You have to just compromise all the time. Come on, Sarah, you need to come back and draw as a V-bird. Your trademark V-birds. I should do an article about V-birds, shouldn't I? Teletext V-birds for The ye old teletextart.co.uk. I was thinking of asking people if they want to actually submit stuff for it, but I mean, I don't know. Whoops. Well, that's a terrible representation of Jamiroquai. JK.
He did look like a girl in ponytails, but now he's JK.
Did Horsenberger do a burnt rat? Has Horsenberger done a Jamiroquai album cover? You know, the...
Oh, he must have. There's nothing he hasn't done.
Well, he's got canned heat in his heels.
Yeah. Candied in his heels tonight, baby.
Candy deals. He's got candy deals tonight, baby.
You know there's some candied in my heels there. Do, 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 do.
Love teletext, hate NFT.
Oh.
I don't have a YouTube account, but who are you then if you don't have a
Yes.
YouTube account? So this was supposed to be a dude to get his arms hanging down the side. We need another space for that, I think, don't we?
He's having a bubble bath.
Let's have a go at that. I'm gonna have
So
a
that
go at what.
bubble bath is Cockney rhyming slang for having a bit of a joke. Because he's
You're
having a
having a
bubble
giraffe.
bath. He's having a laugh. Or you're having a giraffe.
Yeah. I
You're
like
having a
that one.
bubble.
Having a giraffe, mate.
You're having a bubble. What's your favourite bit of Cockney rhyming slang, Dan?
Oh. Well, you're putting me on the spot now. Oh, what's happening?
Yes. Oh, hello.
Don't know what's happening there. How'd you get hell graphics on here?
Oh,
It's H, isn't it? Is it
H.
control?
It's going to be H.
Oh, I don't want to delete everything.
Is that a nuclear explosion in the middle now then? Or is it an egg?
Whoops, that's my history.
Ooh.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see my history.
Don't see my history, man.
Oh, there we go. Somebody's done it. Somebody's done it for me.
It's an egg. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a-
It's a,
Is it
oh,
an egg?
it's
Is
a
it
crispy
drippy egg?
pancake. It's a crispy pancake.
It's a crispy pancake. Oh wow. Do you reckon
That's
I could get
fantastic.
I could get sponsorship from Findus, sponsored by Findus Crispy Pancakes?
Yeah, yeah. Good idea. Well, we could contact them. I'll phone them now.
I'd worry about that though, wouldn't you? You go, oh, welcome to my podcast about, I don't know, about teletext law. Have you visit Surfshark? And I'll have to do all Surfshark and all that rubbish, and then go back to me podcast about something.
Well, there's other ways of doing it. You could be more succinct and do some sort of funny, I don't know, like a funny little sketch, teletext related sketch.
Oh, I don't do funny. I wish I could though. I mean, Joe Foreman, these Hidden London ones, they're really good, and the adverts are really interesting to watch as well. He really puts a lot of effort into them. Have you ever seen them, like Hidden London and Map Men and things like that?
Map Men. I think
Map
I've
Men.
seen it
Yeah,
in my notifications.
yeah, be worth a watch. Very good. Is that you keep pressing space, or is that someone
Yes.
else? Yes.
Sorry,
That's
I'm
all right.
going to develop somebody's art here.
So, who was the person that is not on, who doesn't have YouTube? Are they still drawing? Are they drawing in the corner now?
No, well, yeah, they could be,
Who
yeah.
who was that person? There's a nice bit of dithering on that. That's lovely. I don't even know what that's meant to mean anymore. Is that a cross section of a crispy pancake? But it's got some lovely dither on it.
Mapman. I've seen the guy who goes around to the tube stations and things.
Oh, Jago Hazard.
No, is his name Ian Marshall or something
Oh, Ian
like
Marshall.
that?
Yeah. He's good as well. Yeah, you got to try Jago Hazard as well if you're into that. They make some really interesting stuff about the tube.
But I'm interested in the least used stations and what they look like and how they work. And you have to put your arm out to
the halt.
ask them to stop.
Yeah. He done a couple out my neck of the woods, I think, actually. So he went out to Debden, I think he went out to on the central line. That's the least used central line station, I think.
Mapman, yeah, I've seen him advertised.
Really good. And Unfinished London as well, he does. Good series, Unfinished London. And they're just very humorous. Oh, I love what's happened in the middle there now. That lovely red and yellow.
It's now Mario. There you go, he's Mario.
Mario.
Might as well make him.
It's me, a Mario.
Let's go.
It's me, a generic plumber man.
Crispy fan bakes, I love that.
Burnt rat when baths cry.
Burnt rat.
There's a pie in the corner as well now.
Is that?
Yeah, pie.
Oh yeah, I was looking for.
You got because you're from Wigan. You think every pie's got a hot filling. I know.
Yeah. Like molten cheese filling, like we were talking about earlier.
That's it. Yeah. Where you get that metallic taste in the top of your mouth, where you got no skin anymore.
Oh.
It's got an M for molten.
Molten Mario.
Lava.
Let's go.
Oh my God, that crawling person's got quite a nice bottom. That's quite a nice round rump.
Yes.
On the back there.
That's a very accomplished bottom.
Obligatory blast through bath.
Ah. Did it again.
You press space again.
Mr. Clown says Hot Pocket. And that's it.
Oh yes, Hot Pocket. Yeah, that'd be what it is. I guess they'll have crispy pancakes in the States. Are they called the same? Because they're not really I mean, they're not pancakes of what real pancakes are that you see everywhere else in the world, are they? They're just like little turnover things, frozen turnovers, aren't they?
Are they?
I mean, when you see a pancake in America, they have them for breakfast, don't they?
Yes. I've
With
never had
syrup
an
and
American
all.
style pancake.
I always remember Uncle Buck when he's got the big snow shovel and he makes that enormous pancake. Poor Mario looks like he's on meth.
On mushrooms.
Yeah, he's on toadstools. Toad's going, leave me alone. Stop trying to ingest me. Just say no. I don't like it.
Bless through bath time. That's whoever's doing that. That's fantastic. I love it.
That's brilliant.
Let's go.
E.
I forgot the caps lock button up. Oh, I'm just having so much fun with this. Drawing Super Mario. Lego Mario, more like.
I typed what is a teletext R into Chat GPT the other day.
Oh yeah.
It didn't get it right, but it understood the concept of a teletext R. So there must be
that's
enough on the internet now to. It said that a teletext R is somebody who's works in teletext, and then it went on about people working in teletext. Oh, no, that's a bit rude, Mario, isn't it? Now,
Alright.
come on, this is a family show. Oh, crikey! This is got its hand caught in the old in the plumbing. Oh, he's a lobster man now. See, hey, it's me with the claw. It's me. I'm with me clamps.
It's supposed to
I'm
be
gonna
giving
clamp
the. It's supposed to be
I'm gonna give
the.
you some clamps. I'm gonna
Peace.
clamp you. I want to
Clamp
clamp you good.
It's supposed to be doing the V sign, but I mean,
Yeah.
or
Crikey, what's
somebody's
he?
helping.
He's got a ship on his arm now. That's it.
Somebody's helping with that. What's going on? What's the? What
I
did
have
the
no idea
yellow-
what is going on there. He's got a G. He's the G man. He's got a hook now. Oh, this is like watching a trip in 8-bit. It's an 8-bit trip.
rename
7-bit
the
trip.
stream there.
He's going to go down and fix that blast through bath.
Oh, there you go. That's good. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah. I like
Using
that. That's good. Actually.
The letter V. I love the blast through bath time. I don't know what's going on the left though. What is this? It's got to be his feet.
Yeah, that was his feet, I think.
He's brilliant, this dude here.
Hmm.
He's enjoying his bath. Sorry, I'm going to continue to work on the man. I apologize.
He's got a nipple now.
I have ruined it. Whoever has done that, I'm sorry for ruining it.
He looks like one of the minions out of a Strong Bad cartoon now.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
What's
going on? What's going on with the burnt rat?
Well, he's all burnt out.
Oh, this is just so good down here.
Yeah. It's the fact that the people that are doing the art with you can be so anonymous as well. You don't know who they are.
Buble Beth. That's great.
Oh, it's water on the floor now.
Oh yeah, it could be. It could be water, couldn't it? Yeah. Beth's cry.
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah, I like that.
What's that?
The use of the nose there on that rat certainly made it very ratty. Isn't it weird by placing one pixel somewhere, it can just like click a whole image?
I know. I'm sorry. Whoever drew that, again, I've ruined it, but I'm in a destructive mood tonight.
You're auto-awesoming it, aren't you?
No, I'm making it worse.
No, that's cool.
Whoops.
What's happening in the chat? Is anyone chat? I can look now. I can put it on my phone. I can do some chat commentary.
Let's see. Machete says very ratty. Yeah.
Where are you chatting? Oh, Sofa Club.
A chatty ratty.
All right, I've got to go right to the end. The guy in the bath I was drawing is turning into a tap. I was even doing hold graphics to get his arm hanging on the side. I give up. Never give up, Sarah.
Blintzes. Oh, I can't do that. Mr. Clown says blintzes, something like that. Stuffed pancakes. They're called blintzes.
Blintzes.
They're closer to crepes, though.
How's he spelling that? I'll look that up on the old Intersplot.
Blintz. Blintz.
BLINTZ. Blintz. Oh yeah, food. Oh right, okay. So that's the sweet version by the looks of it. Looking at the pictures. Yes. So that. Oh yeah, okay. So they're like pancake rolls. They're like pancake rolls, but with a sweet filling in.
Oh, sounds nice.
Very nice.
Sort of like what do you call them that you put in the toaster? We talked about them earlier.
Oh, what the Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts, that's it. Yeah.
Pop-Tarts. Oh, Blintz. So
Pop-Tarts.
it's a Yiddish dish. It's very nice. Oh, you can have cheese as well. I think it's one of them, foods that you can have. I think most like batter things you can have for a dessert or as an after or as a main, can't you? I mean, I like a cold Yorkshire pudding with a bit of jam on.
Jam on
it, mate. Cheese blintzes. Thank you, Mr. Clowns. You've got me in the world of blintzes. I might have a go at them. But is he aware of Finder's crispy pancakes? That's what I need to know. Right, what have we got?
My V-Bird is turning
Oh,
out
yeah.
badly.
Are you V-Bird in that or Sarah Ferrer?
Yeah, well... What's happened to this? Is he pointing? He's pointing, or is it his chin? His chin has grown exponentially. It's the man with the long chin.
No, he's definitely pointing. He's pointing at his toe. He's going, look, they're on my feet.
Oh, I can see my feet.
Oh, what a foot. What he's gonna? I thought he's going to exclaim something else then.
Oh yes,
brilliant.
Whoops. It's very short, Mario.
I like those sort of comedic type ones, though. They remind me of the old cigarette cards, with the sporting personalities, and they'd have enormous heads and tiny bodies.
Oh yes, yeah. Like the old
player cigarette cards. Yeah. Wow, that's a very busy page. It's nice to see Muttley working, though.
Yeah, we should do more of these. I just enjoy them so much. We get engrossed in them.
Cheese and burning. cheese and singed tongue flavour.
NFT birds.
Love V-birds, hate NFT birds.
Oh, that's great.
V-birds are the friendliest. When you're going on a night out.
It's actually
up a V-bird.
A band called the V-Birds, a musical band from the 90s or the 2000s.
Oh, yeah, it's a Flight of the Conchords I was thinking of.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, V-Birds.
Oh, is that a song by the Conchords?
No, it's I always thought it was a spoof comedy. It's like a New Zealand comedy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a song. They might have done a song called
They probably did, yeah. It's a sort of a... So, just started watching Yellowstone on Paramount now. I don't know if you've ever watched that. It's like a cowboy thing, but it's modern.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that that rat's turned into sort of like a mouse. That's lovely. That's really good. We're all 40 years too late, guys. I'll tell you. We could have ruled the world with us teletext art. Virtual pancakey. Yeah. Pancatty.
Pancakety.
Pancakety.
Oh, I don't know. It's terrible. It's virtual pancakety.
Oh, I see. Yeah, virtual pancakety on planet Earth.
Oh yeah. Emergency pancake. Emergency on pancake Earth.
Journey to the center of the pancake.
Yeah. He's
I
got
love
Lego
them meat
arms.
hooks. I love them yellow meat hooks. Oh, I like the eyes in that in Jamiroquai. It looks like one of them scary schoolgirls out of one of them horror films with the blank eye expressions.
Yeah, he's got Lego arms now, definitely.
Oh, I like
Lego
that.
hands.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, Mario's doing the two-step now.
He's jumping over a barrel. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to be a guest on your Fight High No Limit podcast.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of any games, like 80s games that we could talk about because it's primarily about, the Sunspot stories thing.
Well, yes, it is, and it isn't. Like I say, it's one of them where, I'd say, I mean, you used you were an Amstrad user, weren't you?
Yeah, but that was in the 90s.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I think that'd be a very interesting. I mean, if you wouldn't mind me sort of like asking, I mean, when you were using your Amstrad in the 90s, was it a case that you knew that this machine was past its it passed its it was hitting obsolescence as you were using it? Did that pass you by, or were you using it very much as if it had like just come out in the 80s?
Well, it was all I had access to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was used to having old stuff because I would have like video games consoles from 2 generations ago because they'd only just become cheap enough for me to get the games, because video games have always been a massive ripoff.
Yeah, so from that point of view, I'd be very interested to have you on as a guest, because you're a real gamer, if you know what I mean. It was sort of like, I think there was only one person that I knew who had a Sega Genesis, and it was a Genesis at the time, because it was from Japan. Everyone else still had ZX Spectrums and stuff. It was only like your real lucky people that had Amigas, and even then it was Atari STs that they were getting, not Amigas at the time. So I think, there's a lot to be said for like real life gaming and stuff like that. And if you wanted to come on and talk about your love for the Amstrad and the games that you used to play on it, then that's absolutely perfect, because it's about the people, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do a podcast about Bridget.
Bridget?
Yeah, the very simple video game that's very divisive. Lots of people hate it.
Oh, please, yeah, that'd be good. Do I know Bridget?
Oh, you might do, yeah. On the Amstrad CPC.
Okay, well, that's a date then. We'll do that.
Fantastic.
Amstrad Memories. There you go. That's what we'll call it.
Well, Bridget. We'll do one about Bridget.
Bridget, yes.
So, did someone decide what this blue box was up here?
What, the one that you're now nibbling?
I'm now wrecking in service of V-Buds.
Foot. That's brilliant.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant artwork. We'll make them green, these V-birds.
You're going to take a grab of this and post it to Twitter?
Yes.
Please do.
All right, here we go. We've got a bit more room with the rat now. Have a look at Discord. Right, ZX Guesser says Mario with his famous long bendy arms again.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing you always manage to do. You always manage to defame Mario in some weird way. Do you remember you had the big legs on him last time, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I usually end up drawing Mario. I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think for Yle you did a Mario. No, I don't know. It weren't for Yle if it was a Mario because they don't use trademarked bits and bobs today. But you had this big Mario and he had big bandy legs.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's based on in I think it's Super Mario Maker 2.
Yes.
You could get a special mushroom and it turns Mario into this weird, strange creature. And his legs and arms are really long, is really lanky.
Yeah.
David says Mario is missing his elbows, which was a great game by all accounts.
Yeah, it's probably called something different in Japan.
Yeah. Made in Japan.
Made in Japan. Big in Japan. Oh, that's better. You had a V-neck then.
V-birds.
V-birds.
V-birds V-neck.
Now he's got snake shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with that rat. That's a lovely rodent.
I mean, the rat is bigger than the guy down here who's crawling.
Well, that's perspective for you. You've got a good sense of perspective. That pie still survived.
I don't want to wreck that. It's brilliant. Where's the pie? Sorry. Oh, yeah. The pie symbol. Yeah. You're making me think of food. Because I bought some.
You in Wigan, you see. Everything's pies in Wigan.
Pies. Yeah. Whoops.
I did find it funny when I visited you in Wigan, and I thought, well, there's a Wigan pie shop there, and I went in there and bought a pie. And then I come out and I saw there's another Wigan pie shop across the way, and then I realised very quickly it was like everybody. It was like visiting Cornwall and the pasty shop. It was like there's one at every corner.
Yeah, pretty much. What's this? What's coming out of the guy's buttocks now? Virtual insanitary. I like the modification that somebody has made to his eyes.
Is he crying?
Oh, yeah.
Right. How are we doing for time?
How much longer do you have, Carlos?
I reckon I've got to jack it in pretty damn soon.
Okay. Would you like to wrap up? Then?
Well, I'll wrap up. I'll let you. I'll leave you with the artwork with our audience for as long as you like, mate. No worries.
Okay.
But,
it's been wonderful to have you on the show again tonight. We've had a wonderful chat about Teletext and guys, keep an eye out for that in podcast form.
Yes, I
because
shall.
Carl, I believe, is going to be editing that down.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll nick your MP3 off of YouTube and just cut it down. I think it's probably the best way of doing it.
Yeah.
And have a play and see what happens, really. But that's brilliant. I really like the artwork as well, and it's been really good to catch up with everyone. And most unexpected for the Ko-fi donations from two of you, definitely. Wow.
Yeah.
So really really much appreciated for that. I don't really know what the etiquette is for naming people, but you know who you are, and I'll be in touch with you all in due course. So that'd be great. But yeah, no, that's good, and we'll try and get another Sofa Club an update on Chunky Fringe pretty soon, eh?
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Yeah, I'll probably end up joining you if I'm not actually there. I would love to be there
uh-huh.
in person, but if
Yes.
not, then I'll be there via video call, and we'll some sort of stream out maybe.
Yeah. We'll do a stream and then
Mr. Clown says, "Can you call Fred Flintstone on that phone?"
yeah, that's it.
Fred Flintstone.
Fred. Well, it'd have to be some sort of bird that goes, I didn't apply for this job to be the telephone.
It's a living.
Yes, that's when he's the toilet, isn't it?
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I think that's in on Family Guy, isn't it? Where Fred Flintstone uses the toilet and it's a pelican and he goes, it's a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Yeah. Well, I don't want to go, but I have to. So
okay. Yeah, it is getting late.
It's getting late for me. But no, thank you very much, everyone. And I don't know if you can see me or not, but cheerio. I shall.
You're on the big screen.
Bye, everyone. Thank you very much. And don't forget, keep it blocky.
Cheers, Carl.
Cheers, mate.
Speak
See
to you
later.
again soon.
Yes. Bye-bye. Bye.
Mr. Clown says, this is a crap job. I think that's the warning caught rats. Oh, brilliant. Cheers, Carl. See you next time.
Cheers, mate. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.
Right. Let's put the artwork back up. We're pretty much done, though, I think. I think we can call it. Well, you could mess around with it all day because there's still some room left for little things, but there comes a time when you have to say, it's not done yet because there's more stuff I want to add. I don't know what. Has he got some cheese, this rat, maybe? Yeah. But yes, it is getting close to that time where we have to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed this show. I've enjoyed the chat about Teletext which is always fun. It's always fun to chat with Carlos. It doesn't really look like cheese, does it? Oh well, there's a glitch going on, so I can't fill this cell down here. You can't tell that it's cheese. I guess he's playing football now. It's a rat playing football. Mr. Clown says Purple Grover in the bath. Yeah. But then who's the rat and who's the blue dude? Cheese and Horsey. Cheese and Horses. I thought that was a reference to Horsenberger for a minute. Oh, yes. Disco Mario, says Mr. Clown. Meat Lotion says, brilliant evening, guys. Thanks. Thanks all who drew. So good. It is a nice piece of art. A football hot rat. That's the Max Headroom hijacker. Oh, my piles. Yes, Mr. Clown, I do save a copy of these. After the show, I bookmark them, and they're actually the they're actually all there on the Xenox website, on the Artfax website, if you want to go back and look at them. All our old artworks that we've done on this stream. Oh, will this get saved on 16 colors? Well, the answer is probably no, because I think the oh, hold on, pause that. The policies on teletext largely prohibit this type of artwork. I think it's more about ASCII and NC artwork. But I mean, Mystigree do teletext artwork packs on their site. I mean, we did the Turn of the Worm one. So yeah, maybe we could make our own site for that. And I've been revamping teletextart.co.uk over the bank holiday weekend a little bit. So we now have artist biographies on their own pages. And I'm going to have a look to see what else can be done there. I think the artwork is pretty much done. There we go. So, anything else to tell you before we leave? Let me see. Oh, have a good look at my shirt there, because I don't think Yle Text have had enough promo on this show. Keep your eye on Yle Text, by the way, Wiley, because hopefully we'll be doing another piece of teletext artistry with them soon, some sort of exhibition. ZX Guesser says, I should get some tea. Yeah, well, it's getting late. You're getting tired. So it's about that time of night when we wrap up, I think. Meat Lotion says, excellent shirt. Yeah, it is a great shirt. I'm not sure who designed it, but somebody at Wiley. Maybe it was Matty Ramo himself. He designed it in teletext. And it was turned to 3D. Although it does look to be voxel artwork, though. Hold on, I'm going to stand up and see if everything goes crazy. There you go. It does look to be some sort of voxel artwork. Oh, you can see through me. What's going on? Ah. I'm fading in and out of existence. Hey, yeah, you want to see something? You want to see a magic trick? Say, you want to see a magic trick? Look at the pen. I am going to make it disappear. Hold on, we'll try that again. Oh, it's not working now. Come on, this worked yesterday. Come on. I shall make the pen disappear. There we go. Done it. Ha ha. The magical disappearing pen. Whoop. Now you see it. No, you don't. Oh, it's very inconsistent. Oh, well. No, I swear it worked yesterday on the test stream. Dear, oh dear. Right, so next show. When is the next show going to be? I don't think we can say just yet. But what have we got coming up? Like I said, probably another collaborative piece with Yle Text. Hold on, we've got the Chunky Fringe coming up in 2 months' time. And I've got kind of an idea for the next show to do a little bit of a presentation of funny teletext pages. Not too many, because the last time I did a presentation, it went on for 7 hours. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I didn't talk about magazine. We were supposed to talk about magazine in the Teletext thing. Another show. We'll leave it for another show. He says with his disappearing finger. I don't know. I don't know. It worked earlier, I swear. The disappearing pen. Oh. The amazing disappearing pen. Forget it. This whole show was pointless now. Ugh. Oh no, ZX Guesser says the page has exploded. No, I didn't save it. I didn't save it. How come this has happened? No. Pence. Somebody wrote Ace Bum at the bottom. No, sadly, I've not grabbed it. I thought we'd seen the last of this. I thought we'd seen the last of it. Well, what a shame that is. What a shame. The Mutley page got destroyed. Something happened. An error. But we can go back in time and reconstruct it. I mean, I've reconstructed. I'll grab this now. Here we go. Where are we? I'll grab it, put it on. Oh goodness. Right, and I'll reconstruct it so you can see it on Twitter. Yeah, I'll screenshot it from the stream. Good idea. But that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time on Teletext Sofa Club. Byte High No Limit sponsors this show. There you go. Thank you. Good night. Oh, Aaron Archipelago says, no MZ Sob. So you just got in at the end there, Mr. Archipelago. Oh, well. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, right. ZX Guesser has a screenshot near the end. Excellent. If you can send that to me, that would be great. Or you can stick it on Twitter.